Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up around and find out.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hey, fellers.
Hey,
How we doing?
Hello. Good to see you.
So
As good as possible.
Might be noticing someone's missing, so we got some news. Now, every week I'm going to do that. Anytime someone's not here.
Man, I thought you were going to keep it going for at least 30 seconds just to kind of like work.
Yeah,
No one
I think
believes it
at
anymore.
this point, it's just like part of what I got to do. Like it's not even.
And then when it finally does happen, no one's going to believe you.
That's true. That's true.
True. The boy who cried Binder.
I'll have to come on and be like, I'll have to come on myself and be like, guys, I got some news. I am leaving the show.
Yeah, you gotta self-destruct.
Yeah. So how's everyone doing? It's been a very depressing week, if you ask me. I know you all probably feel the same.
It's been a bad 2 weeks so far.
Yeah,
it's been not good.
Horrifying 12 days. We should probably let everyone know Rebecca is feeling under the weather tonight, so it is simply a gentleman's affair for this stream.
Yeah. Send her lots of love. She will be back next week.
And
I
money.
believe she's still streaming. Yeah, send her money. I think she's still streaming on her channel as well. So continue watching on her channel just to get those numbers up, so we can hopefully bolster her case for monetization. But we'll
right. And being that she's not monetized, don't forget that she said to send all your super chats for her straight to me at youtube.com/MattBinder.
He's so fast.
How does he do
it?
Yeah, she definitely said that for sure.
Oh, could I also make one small request for anyone watching in a separate tab? You can pause it. You don't have to hit stream or anything, but go to youtube.com/@mindexplosions. Just watch the live stream there because I'm trying to also do the same thing. I'm trying to get the channel monetized, and apparently this is like the Rainbow Road secret to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe Lance also said, being that he's not monetized, all super chats, youtube.com/MattBinder.
You know what? If everyone in
believe he
Matt Binder
said,
stream does it, you can have them all. You can have the crumbs.
In fact, if I recall, I think both David Dole and Mike Figueredo said all super chats tonight straight to Matt Binder.
As I recall, every week Matt Binder gets the most super chats, so I think it's time to spread the love around to the other two in the room here. Myself and myself.
Yeah, I mean, David and I are going to be down at least $100 this week with the game releases, so we're gonna need that.
I got Spider-Man 2 and Mario Wonder sitting on the hard drive waiting to be unlocked.
Oh no!
So be playing both.
Hey,
of them
we're all playing that
back to
together, right? We're all going to play the Mario game together.
We should.
We need to do a
absolutely.
fundraiser. Can we do a Palestinian fundraiser for that?
Yes,
I'm down.
let's do that.
I'm down for that.
What better cause? We should absolutely do that. When does the game come out?
It comes out tomorrow.
Tonight. Oh, at night.
Okay, yeah, tonight, right?
Do we all need the game?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Knowing Nintendo is not going to be like you can share one copy between 5 people.
I think there was like 2 games they did that, or it was like a DS. I think it was a DS Mario Kart game. You could have one copy and do that with multiple DSs, but only multiplayer.
Oh, yeah. I'm assuming this is not
going to. Not really done that.
Yeah, I'm assuming this isn't going to be the case. But if we all 4 played, maybe if Rebecca is able to join, she could read off the donations.
We could probably actually raise even more money if we all 4 played. That's
Yeah.
I mean, we'd probably raise a ton of money, actually.
For a second, that went over my head, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then I'm like, things
Like, wow, that was a dad joke, Binder.
Oh, that was a dad joke.
That's
Yeah.
I don't think that's a dad joke. I don't think many dads are making that joke about their kids.
Yeah, we'll have to coordinate something because I'm definitely down. I'll be playing it anyway. So yeah, I think that'd be a great thing to do. It'd make me feel better. I feel like we're kind of doing something, and the audience is able to do something. I know Hassan had a massive fundraiser, raised $1 million. Don't think we'll get there, but if we could do something, I think that'd be great.
Nothing short of at least 2 million.
Yes. Yeah. So one thing I just want to. Because I know people probably feel like they're going insane because of the discourse, if you want to even call it that. I have to point out the Sarah Silverman Instagram post, which I just found out before going on, that her excuse for making this post was that she was high or something like that. I could pull up the specific.
I want to say one thing before. Unlike the cowards that I'm broadcasting with, I condemn Hamas unequivocally. I'm saying that right out loud, right at the start. Okay, I condemn Hamas. No one else has said it, so
damn, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm the
I wake up saying I condemn. That's my first words in the morning. I condemn Hamas.
Oh, okay.
And then
Okay. All right.
I go about the day.
I have a whiteboard like behind the computer, and I wrote "I condemn Hamas" over and over again, like Bart Simpson.
Good.
So 150 times.
And you guys can all guarantee, like myself, you don't have anything. You haven't bought any products that Hamas has made or generated. Like, you are absolutely Hamas free. I can say that.
I wouldn't be seeing some of the shit I'm seeing online. I would not be surprised if people think that's an actual that's possible.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
what's really like super like telling to me is like there's these videos out there of the far right in Israel. Israeli hardliners who are literally attacking the families of the hostages who are outside holding protests for the Israeli government to focus on getting their family members back instead of whatever they're doing now. Literally attacking the family of the people, like in some of these videos that have come out from the family of hostages or people who were killed in the Hamas attack, coming out saying how, speaking out when their whole country is basically, or at least the hard line on their country is literally physically attacking people who speak out against the government. These family members coming out and speaking against the war, speaking against any bombing in Palestine, speaking out specifically for Palestinians. I mean, we should definitely, I think anyone who thinks not enough time is being spent on the victims of the Hamas attack or the hostages should listen to the actual people, the moms, dads, brothers, sisters, family members related to those people who are literally being attacked by the same people who support the Israeli government, who you guys all over here who are who are shouting out against anyone who says anything about the Israeli government, who you guys are basically defending. This is the equivalent if people here, if Joe Biden say that the 15 9/11s, then imagine in this country people literally were physically assaulting 9/11 families after 9/11 for daring to say anything. Imagine someone attacking Pat Tillman's family for speaking out because Pat Tillman and his brother were speaking out against the war. I mean, that's what's happening right now in Israel. And I don't hear any of these voices who care so much about, coming out whenever, someone in the U.S. dares to speak out for innocent Palestinian civilians. I don't see any of those people focusing on these poor families being attacked for daring to go against the grain and, not wanting to see their loved ones' lives being used as a tool to take more lives, or just want their government to focus on trying to get their family members back, but their government's too hell-bent on enacting some sort of retribution or revenge.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
They're too busy pushing IDF propaganda to give a shit, really. Like it is just. I guess I didn't realize how many people were out of their fucking minds until this came up, like, you know, a week ago. Just seeing people, like, I didn't realize Sarah Silverman was fucking crazy. Like
it was the weed though, David. Did you see? It was a bad batch, apparently. Yeah, you know.
It's just
I can't believe that
stunning to me that people that are otherwise taken like good like our human, like pro human rights positions and on other issues are that they're just completely blind when it comes to the atrocities by a far right wing Israeli government. Why can't you acknowledge that? Yeah, killing civilians on either side is terrible. Look at the occupation. Look at the underlying root cause of all of this. Look at the blockades. Look at the occupation. Look at the fact that Israel can even has the ability to turn off the water, turn off electricity to Gaza. And then I mean, you can bring the tweet up, but to use the excuse that they have to get the hostages, so it's perfectly fine to cut off water to 2.2 million civilians, including women and children, because they got to get the hostages out. Like, what's wrong with your brain? Like, are you okay? I'm having a tough time understanding how someone can be so broken.
I also don't know how you walk back from a take like that. Like it's actually, you know, so extreme in its language, like denying other human beings water. Like what a basic human right. I can't think of, you know, anything more reprehensible. It's like it's the plot of Mad Max, you know.
Yeah. Well, the way they explain it away, if they don't go that route of saying it needs to be done to like get Hamas or something, it then becomes, why hasn't Hamas used all that money to make a water system in Palestine? Look at, you know, that Sarah Silverman thing you just pulled up here. Israel is so kind to provide this for free, as if they don't do that because they sort of need to, because they'll have a much quicker humanitarian crisis on their hands. You know, if you thought, you know, what we've seen so far has been bad, it's going to get a lot worse if things continue that way. But they literally can't do that. Like, the Israeli government doesn't let them do that.
Yeah, it's called Military Order 158. Google it. They have to get permission to do any water infrastructure from the Israeli government, and those permits are nearly impossible to get. They don't have a choice. But liberals like Sarah Silverman don't know about this and just don't care. Like, honestly, I'm tired of pretending like they're just misinformed. They dehumanize Palestinian people, and they just don't think that Palestinians are equal human beings. That's what it is. It goes back to that saying, and not to generalize all liberals, but it goes back to that saying, cut a liberal and a fascist bleeds, because their support for social justice and human rights is so thin. Half the time it's based on vibes. If there's enough momentum or a really good hashtag campaign, they're all on board. But the second public sentiment turns against whatever that cause is, they're on board too. There's a tweet, I don't know who said it, but it was posted on Reddit, of this guy back in 2020 saying, Black Lives Matter. I will always support Black Lives Matter, and I will never stop saying it. I'm going to buy a shirt of it. And then cut to today, after BLM Chicago, one small chapter made that tweet, basically with the paragliders. His tweet now is, fuck Black Lives Matter. Maybe Republicans were right about them. It's like they're so fickle. They're so
that was a localized chapter.
I think I know what guy you're talking about, and you didn't even mean to do this. I'm pretty sure this is the guy who was a Trump supporter, and then Sarah Silverman called him out on being a Trump supporter, and basically turned him into a Democrat because
Seriously?
he received. I'm being serious. That's how. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the guy you're
what
referring
a connection.
to.
Wow.
Without even realizing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the response. By the way, this is what Lance was referring to here. Yeah, I took down. I put the stories in from someone, realized it was a mistake to post in the stoned fury of wondering where the hostages are in all this madness. NASA gave Sally Ride 110. Like, I'm sorry, you're using the Roseanne Barr excuse of I was high. I'm sorry, but I don't care how high I am. I don't think I just feel like it's common sense to not think, hey, depriving citizens who have nothing to do with the hostages of water and electricity might not be the best thing to do. I'm so frustrated by this. And then on top of things, you see John Fetterman, where he literally, with his full chest, effectively calls for genocide, saying now is not the time to call for a ceasefire. Now is not the time.
disgusting.
I mean, 1,000+ Palestinian children dead. Are we going to wait for 2,000, 10,000, 100,000? When is it the appropriate time, according to John Fetterman, a father, by the way, to say, yeah, now it's time to talk about a ceasefire? It's so despicable. And this guy, he parades himself around as some sort of a fucking like progressive. And there were these blind spots. David Dole talked about this during the campaign. About
during the campaign, it was he did an interview. I forget with who it was, but he was asked about Israel, and it was like not a good answer. It was as bad. I mean, it's as bad as this is what we would expect from him, knowing what we knew about him during the campaign. It's just that the other choice was going to be just the same and worse in other issues. But it's remarkable to see just a complete as we mentioned, as Bender mentioned last week, the people who are progressive accept Palestine. It's just you have to turn your brain off to be that way. There has to be a reason, whether it's a constituency that you think you need to serve by being this way, or whether it's money you're getting from a certain lobby or PAC. Like there's clearly a reason why you have this completely batshit insane position on this one issue, yet you seem reasonable in other areas. Like there's something at work there, because anyone with half a brain can tell what's going on and what has been going on between Israel and Palestinians for decades.
I'm starting to come to the conclusion that celebrities will not save us or any of us between Jamie Lee Curtis, Justin Bieber, now Sarah Silverman.
Well, look at poor Alicia Keys. You see what happened to her this week, right?
No.
They didn't even. She didn't even want to get involved. She wasn't even trying to get involved. She posted a picture of her on herself on Instagram. She's wearing a motorcycle jacket. Colors of the motorcycle jacket are green and black. And in the little like caption for where you write the Instagram message, she put there was a question asked of her, what is one thing you really want to do in your life, before you die or whatever, something like that. And she said something like, I've always really wanted to go paragliding. And that became a whole Alicia Keys coming out to support Hamas. She's wearing the jacket with the green and black. She's wearing the jacket with the green and black colors. She said she wants to go paragliding. This is 100% her supporting Hamas. And then this went on and went around. And then she deleted the Instagram post and put out a post saying she had no idea what was going on. This wasn't a statement of anything. It was literally exactly what it was. And then everyone who pointed out how bad her post was, because it meant she supported Hamas, came out and said, oh, look at it. She deleted the post and is backtracking now. She knew what she was doing, so she couldn't win. She posted it. She supports Hamas. She deleted it and said she didn't mean anything by it. Oh, she deleted it, so she must have meant to post it. She supports Hamas. There was no way of winning.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture right now. This is so
Pull the picture up. It doesn't even look like any. They think it looks like the Palestinian flag, which first of all says a lot, that you can't even show support for Palestinian people with the Palestinian flag. But that's not even a Palestinian flag. It's just two colors, green and black.
Yeah, it's very McCarthyist in this time, but anyone who supports Palestine is apparently a terrorist sympathizer. I'm doing a video.
Also,
on this
can't be a
tomorrow.
paraglider anymore. Anyone who's doing paragliding, you should just give up now, because it means you support Hamas. Any professional paraglider, anyone doing any sort of gliding, you got to stop now. Otherwise, I guess this is like. It's just really, it's unbelievable. It's really over the top. I really do think the reaction is something I thought we progressed from to 20 some odd years ago, but it's very clear we haven't. It's really depressing. It's
Matt, to answer what you're
so
saying,
parallels.
there's an article in the Daily Mail that Ben Collins just posted. Woman slams poor taste paragliders who flew over Doncaster, making her think Hamas was invading Yorkshire.
Oh my God.
I saw that headline.
That's where we're at.
Insane.
That's where we're at now.
Wow.
Listen, do you know how high Hamas would have to start at to be able to paraglide all the way to...
Don't logic this.
She
Don't
thinks
science
they're
this. No, do
she
not
thinks they're all over the
entertain
place.
these people.
They're gonna invade your little town. They're all over the world. Like,
this is post 9/11
people have no
hysteria
idea what the hell actual
all
conflict's
over
about.
again. I don't think it's a coincidence that if you look at the ceasefire resolution that Cori Bush had introduced, there's 16 members of Congress currently who signed it. I don't think it's a coincidence that it is disproportionately people of color who signed it. This is a white liberal thing that they need to look at deeply and understand why they just can't sympathize with brown people who are undergoing apartheid and understand what their role in history is and how they're not really better than the past. Like a lot of these liberals, I think that if they were in the 1800s, they'd be fucking supporting slavery. They'd be supporting apartheid in South Africa. They go along with popular sentiment. That's what we're seeing here. And it's despicable. Like these people, I have no respect for them.
And
then you have someone like
go ahead.
I was going to mention someone Ro Khanna does not support the ceasefire,
right?
And his political director resigned after just 2 weeks on the job because of this. So Ryan Grimm tweeting out, Ro Khanna's political director has resigned after just 2 weeks on the job. He wanted Khanna to co-sponsor Tlaib's ceasefire resolution, but Khanna has not done so. Like, we're just talking about a ceasefire here. Like, this is not,
right.
Come out to even support Palestinians. Like, just, hey, a ceasefire. Let's end the violence. And he won't even do that.
He's a fucking coward.
Yeah. So here's the guy's tweet about this. So, personal note, I resigned my job on Monday because of a refusal to call for a ceasefire. I'll be doing everything in my power to stand against war and for Palestinian justice. So please continue to DM any volunteering/organizing needs that I can assist with in New York and DC. So there are very few, as I put on Twitter, there are very few people like this in politics, especially in Washington. But just someone who will actually, stand by their principles and not deal with this shit.
Yeah, he put his account unprotected, by the way, as well. So I'm assuming he's getting a lot of harassment, probably by liberals.
Probably.
There were some reports, though. There was an article, I think it was like NBC or something, where, I mean, they haven't been so brave yet, but, maybe it'll come to that as this continues. There's apparently a good portion of the Biden administration, obviously not in high positions, but who are not happy with the Biden administration's position on this. And they're also
it
was right.
He said that he was an arms dealer.
Josh Paul, is that his name?
Yeah, Josh. Yeah. He was an arms dealer for the United States, and he
literally
resigned
the arms dealer. Right.
Arms dealer resigned. Yes, Biden's arms dealer just resigned over his stance on Israel.
When the arms dealer resigns, you're in the wrong.
I think his reasoning was he always knew his what he did was going to cause harm, but he looked at his role as trying to cause the least amount of harm in that position.
He's like, that's why a lot of people the noble arms dealer kind of.
That's why a lot of people that's their excuse for staying in their positions. And in some ways, I can kind of it depends on who you're working for and how much, and if you've seen successes and your ability to try to move someone in a certain direction. Like I understand that. But I also really respect someone who's just like, I don't see any progress here, and there's no use in me staying here, and I'm just going to leave.
Yeah,
I mean, Democrats are literally pulling themselves apart. Like the party was actually, obviously there's always going to be people, but I feel like, especially compared to Republicans, pretty for the most part, together. Obviously there are issues, but nothing that was like Biden is done. But I truly can see a large portion of the Democratic base just deciding maybe not to go out next year or just not vote at all.
Also, a fuck ton of voters. What is this going to do for all of the Generation Z and millennials who are just completely disgusted by this to suddenly see, isn't that new package being proposed $100 billion? And yes, I think 90% of it is going to Ukraine, but that's still $10 billion at a time right now when the fucking horrifying stats speak for themselves. How are you going to posture come the next election cycle saying that, and I agree with this, by the way, Donald Trump is a fascist, etc., when at the same time you're we're going to militarily arm someone committing these atrocities, an administration currently responsible for that? What is that going to have on the youth vote or anyone who's maybe on the fence about the process?
And how's that going to affect Michigan, a swing state where there's a very large Arab population there? Biden is sending a very clear message to Muslims. They feel abandoned. Rashida Tlaib, the only Palestinian American member of Congress, is saying, we feel abandoned. For her to say that means the situation is very dire. Now, it's possible that Biden is doing things behind the scenes to try to stop the ground invasion, but his rhetoric has been terrible. And what a president says in these times is really, really important. And I think that in the same way that Trump encouraged a lot of white supremacist violence, Biden is encouraging a lot of Islamophobia. He's got to have the blood on his hands too. What he's doing is completely unacceptable and irresponsible, in my opinion.
Since you brought it up, here's Rashida Tlaib talking about this.
President Biden, not all of America's with you on this one. And you need to wake up and understand that. We are literally watching people commit genocide and killing a vast majority just like this. And we still stand by and say nothing. We will remember this. But all of you, you need to know, I swear to God, Wahiyat Allah, you are on the right side of history. You are. You're doing everything possible to save lives. What is wrong with that? Stop it with trying to politicize this. One goal, save lives. That's it, President Biden.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Yeah, so powerful.
I would really encourage everyone not to do self-promo. Watch my video tomorrow. I'm working on it right now. There's a lot of parallels between September post 9/11 and today. So like if you look at what Rashida Tlaib and members of the squad are being called, especially Cori Bush, because she's another really outspoken person, they're being called terrorist sympathizers, traitors. Marjorie Greene is going to introduce a resolution to censure her. Also accused her of doing an insurrection because of the pro-peace rally. But go back to September 14th of 2020 or 2001, excuse me. Barbara Lee, she was the lone vote against the war in Afghanistan. She was called a traitor, sympathizing with terrorists. It's the same thing. Also in the Senate, they voted 98-0 in 2001 to give Bush the broad authorization to wage war. Today, 97-0. In the Senate to stand with Israel. Now, this isn't a resolution to stand with the people of Israel. They're standing with the far-right, ultra-nationalist, Trumpian government of Israel. All of them voted for that. Bernie Sanders, too. So Bernie Sanders fucked up, and he admitted it when he voted for the Afghanistan war, gave Barbara Lee credit, did not learn from that mistake. Bernie Sanders is doing the same thing. Now, this isn't necessarily a one-to-one comparison because a resolution saying we stand with this government isn't necessarily the same thing as like giving, the president authorization for war. But like a million dead Iraqis later, 20 years later, we haven't learned a single fucking thing. And seeing that is so frustrating because I felt like after how colossally the US government fucked up, after how many supposedly progressive pro-peace Democrats fucked up and admitted that they were wrong, they're making the same mistake again. And it is infuriating.
I don't know if you have it or you're including this, but I don't know if you saw today Piers Morgan when he was debating Hassan Piker, and he was bragging at one point about how he was one of the few voices in the media that was actually opposed to the Iraq war. He said that it was under false pretenses, blah, blah, blah. Right after saying that, he goes right into this loop over and over of regurgitating the same propaganda that is being justified right now to do just horrifying war crimes along the Gaza Strip, and then just repeats it over and over. He's like, I got to just go back to this. Does Israel not have a right to defend itself? And that's too Hassan telling him, he's like there's over 50,000 pregnant women who are amongst the injured right now. There's over 1,300 dead children. All this stuff. He's like, yes. And my response to that would be, I'm like, this. You're like, did you learn nothing then? Like, if you want to brag about being on the right side of history for the Iraq War, but in this one specific case, like, I don't know, the propaganda
was he convincing. Even? I feel like maybe he was, but Piers Morgan is full of shit a lot of the time. He was caught lying to Bassem Youssef during that interview. Yeah. A thing he said last week, he claims he didn't say. Like, is this guy really accurately portraying how he felt, 20 years ago? I'm not saying maybe he was a big supporter, but how come we all haven't discussed how big of a supporter or a big of a critic Piers Morgan was during the Iraq war? Like, if he was that big of a critic,
he flat out lied about the 40 decapitated babies. He was like, I never said that. And then I googled it, boom, clip right there.
Yeah, it was a week ago.
Said that. I was like, I know Ben Shapiro said it. Ron DeSantis says that all this. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I don't know. I question his claims about his feelings back then.
Yeah, it's absolutely ironic that all the people who spread the decapitated babies line are now accusing everyone else, when it comes to the hospital situation, of jumping to conclusions. Now, I don't want to touch this because this is a very complicated situation. I still think that the evidence overwhelmingly suggests that Israel is responsible, but we cannot say definitively. I will wait until evidence to like definitively say something. But
Well,
those same people are sitting here.
I don't think it's so clear at all anymore. But I also don't think this one that may have been wrongly reported in terms of who was responsible for it really it matters. Like, this is an ongoing campaign, and we know that Israel is without a doubt doing airstrikes
school that day,
and they are killing
they
people.
They bombed a refugee school.
Like, I think
that got lost in the fog of war. But
like, I think using this one that was very difficult to find out, and we still don't know, it's just going to be used by people who don't look at Palestinian people as deserving of human rights. And say that, oh, look, they're liars. We can't believe nothing's happening. I've already seen that. I've already seen people be like, we can't believe any of them. Oh, how do we even know they're even dying over there? I've already seen that. Like, I think,
or they hyper fixate on this one thing and just ignore everything else, and that's what they're using it. Like, it's all working in the Israeli government's favor. Like, the over focus on this hospital. Again, we don't know. I don't think it should be the focus of any conversation, really, when you see the larger issue at hand and the ongoing occupation and the blockade, the ongoing bombings. Not to, like, while doing research for various videos on this, there was a spike in the Israeli government killing Palestinian children in the West Bank this year. This is before October. Like, there's an article from August from the Human Rights Watch about this, and was there big, news stories about this? Was there big? No, because this is just a very normal thing. This is just how the Israeli government normally operates. And again, and Hamas does not run the West Bank. They don't control the West Bank. So what's the excuse there? Like, it's just, that should be the greater focus, is that this is a larger issue, and the occupation of the apartheid should be the heart of any conversation.
Yeah, and you don't even need the hospital to like use that as an example of the brutality here. They admitted that they're doing collective punishment by shutting off electricity and water. There's ample evidence of white phosphorus being used. So, like, I think that the hyperfixation on that and potentially other things is absolutely serving as a distraction that's benefiting Israel. So, like, that's why I don't want to focus on that. It's a very frustrating situation because these people are on the wrong side of history. People like Richie Torres, who are foaming at the mouth to see Palestinians slaughtered, and they will use anything to promote their disgusting fascistic agenda. And that's what it is. It's fascism.
He had posted like something like, in the fog of war, we don't know exactly what is going on, when it looked like, when the reports were that it looked like an Israeli airstrike. And the second it became not clear anymore, and some of the speculation that it could have been a misfire started going, he immediately jumped into, oh, so it was a Hamas misfire. We still don't know. There's been no this, like, it's totally fine, and you should, if something is not clear, and this is a scenario where it's going to be unclear for a little bit in certain scenarios. This is I hate to use war because that usually requires two armies fighting, and Palestinians don't have an army.
It's an occupation.
But there is bombs dropping. It is a warlike scenario, and in this, and it's in Gaza, where there is a lack of many media outlets. So we don't have,
and Israel won't let anybody in to investigate.
Right. So we don't have many people on the ground to begin with.
Oh, and 11 Palestinian journalists have been killed as well.
Right.
So there's that.
So in that situation, it's fine to just say we don't know yet. And there was some great reporting that night when that day when there was that bomb at the hospital, that basically showed that this is what the Palestinians are saying. This is what the Israeli government's saying. There was this one MSNBC reporter who was really good on this and basically said, we don't have anyone in there, so we can't confirm ourselves. This is what is coming to us from the ground in Gaza, and this is what the Israeli government's claiming. And then that reporter went on to share, the context of the history of the Israeli government not being so truthful. But then also added that if it was an Israeli airstrike, there would be a lot of deaths. So really basically giving everything he could possibly give. And that's all we can do right now in a lot of these scenarios. Now, other ones are pretty clear. Like today, it seems quite clear that there was some sort of airstrike that hit a part of a church in Gaza, a Greek Orthodox church. I'm not sure if it's like 100% confirmed who did it, but we definitely know a church was hit because you have the clergy there basically saying it from the ground and showing pictures of the rubble and everything. That definitely did happen. But there's nothing wrong with being cautious because, again, none of these one-offs that we can't officially like tell exactly how many deaths or what happened yet in any way affects the fact that Israel is launching these targeted airstrikes in Palestine and in Gaza on innocent Palestinian people, and that's wrong. Like everyone keeps focusing on these specific instances. Yes, is there going to probably be like a misfire from Hamas or some other group in there? Probably. If it hasn't happened yet, it could very likely happen in the future. But the whole point is that is then in response to the Israeli airstrikes. And then you could say, of course, that Israel is responding to the Hamas attacks, but they're not, because they're not they have no way to pinpoint and target just those Hamas targets, because they've said it themselves. They can't do that. There's going to be civilian deaths. They've admitted it. They've admitted they'll let civilians die if it means getting Hamas. They've even said they would let their own. There was an Israeli official saying that they would let their own hostages die if it meant getting Hamas. That the saving of the hostages is secondary to taking out Hamas.
Which goes to any anger from someone like as Sarah Silverman or anyone calling, like, their focus, which I understand, focuses on get these hostages out. Your anger should be directed towards the Israeli government that appears to not care at all about the lives of these hostages. Like, I put something on, but my tweet about Sarah Silverman was replied to by Michael Rappaport, out of all people.
Oh, the actor? No way.
Yeah, but he just like posted a video of him, and his video is like, Hamas released the hostages. Is Hamas checking Twitter to check out Michael Rappaport and what he's saying? What kind of... If you have any influence at all as someone with like a platform, a celebrity, it should be used to put pressure on where you have some actual sway, possibly, like on your own government, on try to a ceasefire. Like, use your power in a way that is you can would actually maybe impact in some way. Hamas ain't going to release the hostages because they saw Michael Rappaport on Twitter. So it's such a ridiculous, like, those people are so,
Honestly,
they're in their own heads.
That's much more reasonable than Sarah Silverman being basically mad at Palestinians for not demanding that Hamas release the hostages so that way they can get their water turned back on. I mean, people's brains are so broken. And listen, to those who are like newer to politics, younger folks, it's always been this way. I want to share, there's a really good clip from 2007 where Jimmy Carter was on MSNBC. This was in the context of Hamas was just elected. And he published a book about Palestine. And what he said was really, really good. So let me share that, because I think that his words, I mean, it's still true. And he explains the situation in a very objective manner. So give me 1 second. I'll pull this up here.
And also emphasize the word not, that is peace and not apartheid. That's what I hope to accomplish with this book, is some move toward that goal. But there's no doubt that within the occupied territories, Palestinian land, that there is a horrendous example of apartheid. The occupation of Palestinian land, the confiscation of that land that doesn't belong to Israel, the building of settlements on it, the colonization of that land, and then the connection of those isolated but multiple settlements, more than 200 of them, with each other by highways on which Palestinians can't travel, and quite often where Palestinians cannot even cross. So the persecution of the Palestinians now under the occupying territories is under the occupation forces is one of the worst examples of human rights deprivation that I know. And I think
even worse, though, than a place like Rwanda?
Yes, I think, yes. You mean now?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think the oppression now of the Israelis, of the Palestinians by the Israelis, is worse than a situation in Africa like the oppression of Rwandans and the Civil War.
I'm not going back into ancient history about Rwanda, but right now, the persecution of the Palestinians is one of the worst examples of human rights abuse I know, because the Palestinians...
You're talking about right now. You're not talking about, say,
I'm not talking about ancient history. No.
Well, Rwanda wasn't ancient history. It was just a few years ago.
You could talk about Rwanda if you want to. I want to talk about Palestine. What is being done to the Palestinians now is horrendous in their own territory by the occupying powers, which is Israel. They've taken away all the basic human rights of the Palestinians, as was done in South Africa against the blacks. And I make it very plain in this book that the apartheid is not based on racism, as it was in South Africa, but it's based on the desire of a minority of Israelis to acquire land that belongs to the Palestinians and to retain that land, and then to exclude the Palestinians from their own property and subjugate them so that they can't arouse and demonstrate their disapproval of being robbed of their own property. That's what's happening in the West Bank. And the people in this country, in America, never know about this. They never discuss this. There's no debate about it. There's no criticism.
Yeah, so I showed that because, like, I don't know what the response was to that, but back in 2007, after Hamas was just elected, you can imagine the things that were said about, you know, Jimmy Carter. Why is he talking about this? He's a terrorist sympathizer. It just, this conversation is the same.
They did say that about him, about other things. That's why he pretty much lost his re-election.
It's also worth mentioning there that was David Schuster. I hadn't seen that clip yet. So David Schuster popped up. That was like, oh my god, because he's been on Twitter and he's completely incoherent on this. It's like again, talk about somebody who otherwise, as from what I've seen, solid on other human rights abuses, other issues, but when it comes to this, just out of his goddamn mind.
That's why you don't have any heroes, unless it's me. You could idolize.
Well, he was never a hero of mine. It's just
your cancellation is going to be so dark.
But God, Jimmy Carter, man,
I know what you're saying, though, David. You said at the start of the stream that things. Mike too. I guess everyone just how disillusioned and weird everything feels right now, you know, in ways it hasn't before. And I totally agree with you in that, like, sometimes you just feel everything is backwards, as in, like, you're just watching all this play out in real time, maybe because we have more access to information or more AIs driving stuff. And there's that, but on the other end, like, so much of it is just disappointing. Like, I feel like we've learned nothing from the past whatsoever. You know, like, I mean, we're all old enough here that we lived, you know, we were old enough post 9/11 that we knew what the climate was like. We knew what life was like. We, you know, like, one of the people that I was doing one of my YouTube channels with, his name's Dave, you know, his family's sick. He was racially profiled all the fucking time, like every other person who was, you know, Sikh, Hindu, you know, in Canada and the US, trying to cross the border, random security checks, all that kind of stuff. It's all ramping up, you know, and that combined with, like, also, you know, rampant hypocritical fucking anti-Semitism coming from the right wingers who are completely just being like, you know, we speak for, you know, all the Jewish people and shit like that. This is what, you know, Israel wants. They are one and the same, stuff like that. Like, it's just absolutely vile atmosphere now.
Yeah, it really it harkens back to the post 9/11 days. Like, I was very young. I was like 13 years old when it happened, but I remember seeing explicit racism just on local news. You know, Sikhs were targeted. Oh, these are Muslims. There was so much ignorance because, like, for a lot of ignorant Americans and probably Canadians too, and Brits, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
Like, they didn't even know that Muslims existed. They didn't even know about Arabs. So this was their first introduction. So that was justification to just demonize all of them. And so, like, it has taken so much time to break down these myths. I remember in 2006. As a unfortunately admitted Big Brother fan, when they brought on the first Muslim contestant, he was talking about how, you know, he was racially profiled and whatnot. And that was really controversial back at the time. It took years to break down these stereotypes, years to educate people. And I felt like we've come so far, and to just see, like, the whole thing crumble and people just right back to racism, right back to dehumanizing Palestinian people and Muslims. And then on top of that, you see the right really pouncing and trying to gin up anti-Semitism, trying to equate the Israeli government with all of Jewish people. It feels so hopeless because it's like we are a species that never learns our lesson. We just keep doing the same thing. History is cyclical. We keep making the same mistakes, demonizing people. And will we ever learn? And it just feels like the answer is no. And that's so disheartening to see.
I don't want to make it seem like all doom and gloom though. Like I saw I got to bring it up, but there was a big
the protest,
protest,
incredible.
yeah,
right. Yeah,
huge
shout out to
Capitol.
Jewish Voices for Peace.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Organizing
Jewish
those
Voices for Peace.
massive protests.
I can bring up an
they were
article about
absolutely stunning, and like all the heroes who were willing to get arrested in the process.
500
civil
of them.
disobedience in action. That I was like the unbelievable bravery.
Jerry Nadler denounced them basically, by the way, saying they support BDS because and the tenets of BDS is they want to end Israel as a Jewish state. When it's like, okay, what you mean by that is turn Israel into a full democracy and end apartheid. So he's endorsing ethno state, but again, trying to be positive, not negative. Yeah, this was a little bit of hopium that we needed throughout the week.
Yeah, but I guess it was I saw other videos. It was like it was packed. But so there is, there are people, and
Naomi Klein said the one. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There weren't people in Congress back in the day, right? Like 10, 20 years ago, people like Rashida Tlaib who were beating the drum on this issue. Maybe there were, but I feel like there's definitely, from what I am seeing, I feel like there is more of a contingent of reality that is out there. It's just that it's still drowned out, a lot of it, by just decades of propaganda. And I think you're not going to get out from under that immediately.
I think it's definitely there's been a shift for sure. It's just not with people who have power. That's the main thing,
right?
There is, it's obviously still a very contentious issue with even people who, like I mentioned, like you guys mentioned earlier, and I mentioned last week. There's literally a term for people who think they or consider themselves to be on the left, but stand with Israel and everything, and progressive except Palestine.
Hep.
Yeah, but it's definitely a shift from what it was.
Yeah, Lord Vader in the chat says that I'm ignorant because I don't know about Hamas's charter. Yes, I do know about Hamas's charter. Their charter is explicitly anti-Semitic. But what I am telling you is that all Palestinians are not Hamas. And if you can't get that through your head, you're part of the problem.
But do you condemn them?
I do.
Oh, good stuff. Incredible bravery.
Yeah, this is great.
So
yeah, it's really nice to see that, honestly, because that's more than I expected. When you look at public opinion polls on this, it is depressing. So don't do that. But to see that many people show up,
I just saw a couple
that? Yeah.
Share them.
There's a new one. There's a new one that's pretty surprising.
Share with the class.
I got two.
Oh, by the way, guys, it's 6:20. We need to condemn Hamas.
I condemn Hamas.
I just did. So Matt,
it's 9:20 over here. So
yeah,
I already condemned Hamas 3 hours ago.
Okay. Yes, so did I.
It's about time someone did.
So Israel-Hamas conflict, what should U.S. do now? So, some of these are predictable. Send humanitarian aid to Israel, 76%. 72% for use diplomacy with countries in region, which seems...
That's
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's, yes. 57% for send humanitarian aid to Palestinians in Gaza, which is more than the 48% who say send weapons and supplies to Israel.
And keep it going though. It gets the questions get even. This is actually the least positive poll, and it's still pretty good. This one is really surprising.
So this is the breakdown. Should U.S. send weapons/supplies to Israel?
Wow.
Majority of Dems, 53% of Dems say they should not
as well as
the U.S.
independents.
should not. And 55% of independents said the U.S. should not send weapons and supplies to Israel. 57% of Republicans say they should, which is a majority of Republicans, but also 43% is still,
Yeah. So is there more than this?
And there's another one. Yeah, there's another one.
That is encouraging, honestly.
There's another one I saw.
Is that from Ken Clippenston? He didn't
Here,
post
let me give you the. Let me drop you the. You're already there, so you could pull it up. Let me put it in the. Dropping it in the chat. This has the one you're showing now, but also that other one I'm talking about. But that's the one we just saw, and this one's.
Should
U.S. send humanitarian aid to Palestinians in Gaza? Dems 70% should. Independents 59% should. Even 41% of Republicans want to send.
This is actually maybe the most surprising.
Wow.
Wow,
that kind of makes my heart swell a little bit.
Yeah.
Sizes.
Yeah.
I think it's important for us to realize that, you know, the voices that that are often are most prominent on social media are not probably not the majority of people. They may have the majority of the power, but when it comes to how people actually feel about this, it's, you know, I mean, numbers like this are encouraging.
The fact is, the vast majority of people really, I mean, you can look at this as unfortunate or because it sort of is, but also just the facts. Vast majority of people are not paying attention to any of this. They just they just heard about the Hamas attack, so they feel bad for the Israeli people. And they're seeing these images of crying Palestinian children and bodies of dead Palestinians, and they feel bad for the Palestinian people. And they're basically saying we should help the Israeli people. Oh, we should help the Palestinian people, without any real, knowledge of or context of everything, really. And that's, I think, really what you see bearing out in that poll. That those polls pretty much are showing where people are getting their news, honestly. That's how I look at it. Like, if you're a Republican, you're probably getting your news from somewhere that's more sympathetic to the Israeli government than to the Palestinian people. But even then, I guess you can't get away from seeing those images of, Palestinian people dying. So 41% of the Republicans even say we should send support to the Palestinians.
Yeah, and I've got to say, independent media, as much as I've criticized it, has been a bright spot. This is like one of the few issues where independent media is just far and above traditional media, especially mainstream media like CNN and all of that, because you are like there's no conflict of interest there, right? There's no war propaganda.
I think.
Well,
I think
it depends.
I think you're very specifically thinking about, left-wing YouTubers and streamers like Hassan. I would say this is one of the examples of why there is respected journalists and outlets with financing who can send people there, and because
that's true.
What you're seeing on Twitter, for example, is the absolute worst. And then Elon Musk.
Twitter does not count when I say that.
But that's unfortunately that's what Elon Musk and all these people with money and power have sort of turned into what a citizen journalist is now. It's some dumbass on their computer spending all their day just posting whatever they see on lesser known feeds. Being an aggregator, and they're calling themselves a citizen journalist when they're posting wrong shit or shit they're not confirming or shit they didn't even source, or they're not even sourcing it to the original.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what I think is the more
that is harmful.
And I'm seeing it like an encouraging. I mean, it may not be all of the coverage, but I've seen encouraging segments from places like Channel 4 in the UK and the BBC, CNN, MSNBC. Like, they've all had solid segments. Again, it may not be all their coverage, but there has been, from what I have seen, I would say a surprising amount of accuracy when it comes to representing the Palestinian perspective, and not like, I wouldn't even say their perspective. I'd say the human rights perspective, which is one that is looking at. The
I have seen some good reports. So I think you're both making good points.
I think the overall criticism. I think the overall criticism about these outlets, like these mainstream media or legacy media outlets, is legit, because obviously from the executives and everything, they clearly have their own positions on this, and it's probably for the most part not sympathizing with the Palestinian people. But at the same time, these are major outlets, so that means that they have real, legit, really good journalists there who have experience or even don't have experience, but are really good at what they do. And, you know, I think it's totally, I think you need to look at each individual journalist. Like, there are really good ones at MSNBC, CNN, Washington Post,
weird
New York
that
Times.
MSNBC has kind of been sidelining its Muslim host.
That is
I think
telling.
I think I saw they reversed that. I think Mehdi Hassan announced his shows.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
he
Mehdi
just
Hassan-
announced his shows back. I'm not sure why he was. It wasn't before.
Yeah,
but
where'd it
it's
go?
back now.
I mean, listen, MSNBC is a network that has a history of silencing their anti-war journalists, Phil Donahue, Jesse Ventura. So that's why when I saw the report, despite them vehemently denying it, I was like, they're absolutely doing that shit. Like,
To
why
be fair,
would you?
it was different management back then, but yeah, no, I get your point. Like, it is.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like,
it's
I see,
well,
I see some
why did Mehdi Hassan's pre-recorded show get canceled? Like, why would you substitute Eamon? I forgot his last name. Moy something.
No, he's good and good too. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's good,
you
yeah.
substitute him with who was it? Menendez's daughter or some shit. Like, shit's going on. But I'm glad that Mehdi's back.
NBC had claimed it was because they want to have more on the ground, like live coverage or something, and so they kind of moved some of their shows around. It wasn't just Mehdi Hassan's show, but they've reversed some of that now.
That's good.
Like, I saw someone in the chat mention that BBC was so bad they had to issue an apology for them basically calling a pro-Palestinian supporters pro-Hamas supporters.
I saw that, yeah.
And,
what about their
that's
article about the tunnels, though? Are they going to take that one back? Because every time something happens, they have to do the hot dog suit. Like, why do people believe this? And then they publish those stories where it's like, intricate tunnels connect every single hospital to the Hamas headquarters and every school. I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah.
It reminds me of during the Iraq War, like look where Osama bin Laden's living, and it's like this underground like layer, and it's like all these levels to it.
It looked incredible.
It looks like a beautiful like oasis.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is this?
But I'm bringing the BBC up though specifically to say, like, with that said about how bad BBC TV has been. The one of the best people to follow online is a BBC reporter, Cheyenne Sardar Izadeh. I'm sorry if I'm messing up his name. His Twitter handle is Cheyenne86. This dude is like the most prominent of the people who are pulling out the disinformation. Doesn't matter if it's a fake claim from the Israeli government or someone online sharing something that's old or just to get support for whatever. This dude has been on it. He has been fantastic. Everyone should give him a follow.
Can you spell his name?
Yeah, Shayan 86 on Twitter. This dude has been every day a thread of debunking every piece of misinformation going viral online. He's really good and on top of it, and people should follow him.
Disinformation. I do have a lighthearted disinformation that I wanted you all to see. I sent it to the group chat, David. It's basically the official account of Israel released a report on T-Swifty, and it's since been corrected by Taylor Swift fans who have done the community notes. If you want to put it up on the stream, yep, they did not buy into the propaganda. Like, full screen the picture, not my post. You'll see at the bottom there, it's effectively been debunked. It says, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour bodyguard returned home to fight for his country. Hey, Taylor Swift, we promise you'll never find another like him. We love you, Aaron. And then it says the bodyguard in question worked for Arrowhead Stadium. The second picture is from Swift's 8th show of the Eras Tour at this venue. This means he was never under her employment, and he's not part of the singer's personal security team.
My God.
Yeah. The Swifties were not fucking around with this one. Like, you should see the comments. It's just loaded with angry fucking Swifties.
Yeah.
That Israel account, like, you think they would have more? You think they have more important things to do? They attacked Gigi Hadid, who's literally a Palestinian woman, for doing, like, she put out like a totally fine statement for a celebrity, for especially even holding back her. I'm sure her emotion, based on her previous activism for the Palestinian cause, like, she put out a really like tempered response to not flare up anything, and they attacked her for it. Like, the woman is literally like, I think she's on her honeymoon with Bradley Cooper right now too, like, and they attacked her for not putting out a response that they wanted, which in turn, it's being reported that her entire family is receiving death threats.
Wow.
They keep picking fights with celebrities. It's so unhinged. It's so Trumpian.
It's
yet
because
a lot of liberals are supporting this.
They understand the power of their platforms, so they do shit like this to purposely scare other celebrities into speaking up and for Palestinian civilians. Like they know the influence they have.
Yeah, is that a new tattoo I see, Matt? Not to change the subject.
You know, this is the third stream I've done this week where it's been visible. And out of the people I've hosted with, Emma Vigland, to you know, the viewers on my show, you're the first person to realize.
Show it off.
Yeah, let's see
the
it.
ink.
It looks really fresh. That's why I noticed.
Yeah, it's fresh.
Oh, badass.
Oh yeah, it does look fresh.
I love it.
I got it on
What is it?
Friday. It's just it's a skull.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
skull.
Very, very nice.
It's got an interesting design, but it's just a skull.
I'm a bit of
Cool.
a tattoo aficionado, so
I
I
can
notice
tell,
when
yeah.
somebody gets a new one. Yeah, I
Yep.
love it. It's very nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Was there anything?
I did have a feeling actually, you know, you were going to be the one to notice because you are the only other person who I think has any on this. You do? Oh.
Yeah,
You gonna
I can't
us
show
one?
you because I'm not wearing socks and I'd show feet on stream. Isn't that
Oh,
bad?
if it's a tattoo, if it's like a little heart on your ankle, doesn't I don't
It's
think
not.
that counts. but
I have a massive rose and a Métis symbol on like the side of my leg. Yeah,
Nice.
I'll take a picture of it without feet because I don't know if that'll get it banned.
You'll get a wiki feed page. I would imagine that'd be free.
I got no tattoos. Maybe one day.
None?
If I care
Oh.
about something enough, we'll see.
You got to get
Nah,
like
your whole
son.
your whole image is too clean cut. It would go against.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
actually.
you
I
don't
don't
have
know.
any
I
tattoos
thought,
because
like,
you're
I would-
keeping the
I'm not
movement to
against
becoming.
them. I just think I'm not against them. I just think, what if I change my mind on this thing that I want to get now, and I don't think it looks good in 10 years? Like
That's
Nah,
possible.
That's kind of
nah. I
It's totally
think
possible. Speaking from experience, you can regret tattoos for sure.
really.
as someone who's
Yes.
my mind, like I have changed. Not my like just as a person, I've changed so much over my life. So you know, I want to make sure I'm in like a steady mental place before I decide what I'm gonna. If anything, it'll be like, you know, my son or something will be tattooed on me. But
I have 4, and I don't regret any of them. And some of them I got
you can
close to
update them
20
too.
years ago.
Like you can get cover-ups.
True.
Cover-ups actually look awesome now. Like I've seen people who have like full sleeves and they've done cover-ups and like you wouldn't even know.
Mike, show
Yeah.
us the tattoo you regret. I mean, obviously you're speaking from experience. Which one? do you regret?
Yeah. I want to see that too. Good call.
Well, I can't because it's on my back, but I'll describe it.
You could
It
definitely
is-
show it to us. You could definitely show it to us.
I don't
I'm
think
not
it
going to
works.
show
Is
you.
it like
the
is it like
tattoo.
Roger Stone's?
Think of
Nixon
the-
like this or whatever?
Do you have a Nixon tattoo on your back, Mike?
No, okay. Think of the ugliest, most stereotypical tribal tattoo from 2006. That's what I've got on my back. It looks like it's basically it was a very trendy tramp stamp for guys up like between the shoulder blades. And
I can picture your tattoo without even seeing it.
oh, it's
Wait a
it's
minute.
Awful.
So it's the
Awful.
tattoo you got. It's a tattoo you got about 10 years ago, right?
I got it when I was like 22, 21. So it was a
He's
really
lying.
long time ago.
It's not a tribal tattoo. It's perfectly in line with his fandom of Jimmy Dore. He's got a Jimmy Dore tattoo. That's what this is all about. He's really, really embarrassed of it. Is Jimmy Dore wearing that friggin' stupid
his
hat,
face.
isn't it? The fedora hat, right? Yeah.
That'd be
That
fun.
would actually be incredible.
Yeah.
Oh
the,
my
the,
God.
the main
I wonder if
main
anyone has a
advice
Jimmy
is
Dore tattoo.
never get a face
Probably.
tattoo of a human, like a tattoo of a face, I should say. Also face tattoos,
Oh.
but don't get somebody's face tattooed. It's gonna be bad. You can get dogs tattooed and they will look good, but not a human face unless you have a really talented artist.
And even
Oh,
then,
yeah.
like, what if you like gain weight or like lose weight and it gets all saggy? Like,
Changes.
Yeah.
the face must change at that point.
Yeah. Chico.
Anyways, that's all the news today. So
yeah. Well, we'll see you all next week.
I mean, no, honestly, I've had a real hard time these past 2 weeks literally paying attention to anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
no, me too.
Well, of
Like,
course.
anything else just seems so
It doesn't
unimportant.
stop. And everything
Right.
is ramping up so rapidly. Like, if we want to change topics, I totally understand, and like I'm for it. But it is one of those things where like every single time, like it's like, oh, and now Biden is going to Israel, and now U.S. troops are mobilizing. There's now 2,000
Oh,
U.S.
wait,
troops.
can-
Now 2
can-
warships are going over there, and like
Can,
Yeah.
it's like it's scary.
Can you guys pull up that Biden clip? I don't know if you've seen this of him telling the Palestinians to shoot straight.
Oh my God!
Have you ever seen that one?
I've not seen
he
this.
says
Oh
Hamas,
my
doesn't he? Just to be
No,
fair. And
I don't remember. Hold on.
I think he says it's Hamas. Hamas. That's the
Is it
one that
Hamas?
straight.
Okay, but
I
still,
think he says Hamas.
it's
I think
still,
it was the New York Post that improperly titled.
Oh right, yeah, I think right. Okay.
Oh, here, I think I found it.
It's an amazing clip though, only because of it's amazing. Just one of those Biden moments.
Hold up.
God, Biden.
I know at the hospital, sir, people all over the region are upset about the hospital and don't necessarily believe you or the Israelis that they didn't have anything to do with it. Do you have a message to the people in the streets right now?
Well, I can understand why in this circumstance they wouldn't believe. I can understand that. But I would not, you notice I don't say things like that unless I have faith in the source from which I've gotten them. Our Defense Department says it's highly unlikely that it was Israelis would have a different footprint, and they've intercepted some anyway. So that's why, if you notice, I didn't say it first. I wanted to make sure that I knew. And
unlike the beheaded baby statement, but yes, continue.
And I'm not suggesting that Hamas deliberately did it either. It's that old thing, gotta learn how to shoot straight.
I know at the hospital, sir.
All of that.
I mean, it's stunning. But basically, Biden telling Hamas, look, next time you have to hit the intended target. Just make you gotta. Really stunning. I mean, old man moment.
The grandpa vibes coming off him in his sweater.
Know.
Just
Yeah.
it's like, go to bed, grandpa.
The half zip is not doing him well in this clip. And then when you have Anthony Blinken in the background, creepily, just like in half shadow.
He's like holding him up straight.
Yeah.
Like, don't fall over. Oh my God.
The vibes are off on this jet, man.
What? Jeez. It's like you just got up from a nap. I don't know. It's just it's so
watch Channel 4's documentary on that topic, by the way. Anyone who hasn't already, is quite interesting.
It's very
good. I recommend
good,
going to check out Channel 4's documentary on the hospital bombing that just got released. Al Jazeera released one as well today that is also very interesting. I would go check
I've watched both of them. Very, very illuminating.
Matt, I know you didn't want to talk about that. Can I ask you one question? Because you're the best of anyone I know who's like invested as far as the Mafia in terms of like investigative reporting. Like you seem to like usually have a pretty very standard, I want to know facts on the ground kind of thing. I had seen online that if you take the official Israelis video that they posted of the recording, the audio recording of the supposed Islamic jihadists, that claims that they did it, if you then import it into an audio editor, it actually shows up as two separate audio tracks in stereo.
Oh,
I thought that was a conspiracy theory, but it is true when you bring it in. But I'm like, that could mean so many things. It's not a smoking gun or anything, but it's just like that would essentially mean that they were capable of recording two separate people independently, right? That's what that means,
right? Yeah, that has nothing to do with the legitimacy. I mean, to me, the first thing I thought when I heard that was like, I mean, it sounds like the language you would use if you were writing a script. It sounded very unnatural. But we just don't know. I've seen reports that. I've seen some people say that the dialect and the accent is off. It doesn't fit I mean, that I wouldn't know because I'm not a specialist in that area. But to me, it was just weird that they hit every single point you would want to hit in a conversation where you want to prove that
very concise. Yeah.
A little
it was
too
very, it was a little convenient, right? But I don't think that has it's.
But that does mean they had the capability to be able to record two people independently at different areas, right? Who were
right. No, that has nothing to do with that. Right. That just sometimes you get two separate recordings like that. Sometimes it just records that way.
That's all.
I mean, I don't think putting that out did anything good for Israel. In fact, I think it made it even more suspect. I think what came out the following morning,
deleting the videos was really suspect as well.
Like I thought the photos of the damage, which much more clearer in terms of like. This might not have been, a IDF airstrike because the damage was different than from what we would, usually expect in terms of how much damage. I mean, it could have been something else. It could have been, who knows? Again, we still don't know for sure, but I thought the photos were much more convincing to their, claims. And then they go ahead and they're like, it's clear they're just grasping at straws for evidence. They put out a video that turns out to be they put out a video that claimed it was their intelligence proving it was not them, and it turned out that it was just some video going around online that showed a completely different, like Hamas rocket fire that was from a completely different time, to the point where they even went back and edited the Twitter post to remove the video. And then they put out this really weird. Then they put out this really weird, intercepted Hamas recording we're talking about. I mean, I think putting those two things out, putting out their evidence, actually hurt them more than just letting like the videos and photos naturally come out the next morning. It's stunning how much they're messing up here to even like control the narrative. It's very bizarre behavior.
I mean, they've got to overcompensate, because just not that long ago, what did they say after journalist Shireen Abu Akleh was killed? Oh, we didn't do it. And then months later, they came out and they said, oh, yeah, actually, we shot her. So nobody believes them anymore. Nobody does. And so in their effort to oversell it, if it is indeed them, again, have to wait for independent verification, but in their effort to oversell it, they're just making themselves look more guilty. And that's the problem. When you lie and disseminate so much propaganda, you end up looking bad. It's like the boy who cried wolf or the Uso who cried pirates. I'm watching One Piece lately. I had to throw in that reference, but they keep lying, and so nobody believes anything that they say anymore. Biden just last week talked about the beheaded babies. Not true. Our government lied about WMD. So you can't take what they say at face value anymore. There's no trust there. They lost legitimacy. So that's why I think a lot of people are rightfully skeptical. Although again, I am willing to admit that I'm wrong when we see more evidence, but it doesn't look good.
If it turned out to be Islamic Jihad, fuck them for doing that, obviously. Like, I think anyone, everyone is like, basically, I condemn explosions. I condemn bombing hospitals. Yes, me too. I'm not, no one's on the other side of that issue.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
the two points I just want to say to that is like, number one, like a single instance, or multiple single instances, multiple separate instances, I should say, does not like detract from the fact that we know that Israel is killing innocent civilians in airstrikes in proven instances. But then second of all, that's also why I urge people to be a little bit more cautious about this stuff, and not because, I know there are people who feel like, you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. No, it's just about being correct, because you're seeing how the Israeli government is losing legitimacy with people because they've so frequently been called out for not being truthful and straight up lying. We can't have that happen to this side. We just can't. We need to make sure that we are, and there's nothing, you don't have to say, you don't have to say like, oh, we're wrong. Like, just, we don't have to get to that point. We just simply say, we don't know yet. We don't know. There's nothing wrong with just admitting we don't know yet and to wait. I mean, I know with the internet, and I know that on certain platforms you get paid for being the first because you're the one who goes viral for being first. But like, if you just don't know, there's nothing wrong with just waiting.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think that being truthful is the most important thing. Facts matter, especially when there's these situations where you have wars and it's difficult to verify things.
And that same day, they did bomb a refugee school and 6 people died.
So. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like,
especially when there's
verifiable events that we don't need. Like, you don't need this.
Exactly.
Like, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Exactly. Like,
I'm seeing this. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, we don't need to, like, I'm just gonna reiterate what you said. Like, obviously, when Israel, the Israeli government puts out this information to sway people, it's because they need to, because there's not instances where they can use that are legit. You know what I mean? Like, they have one actually with this horrendous Hamas attack where they came in and slaughtered civilians. That's one they could use, and that's why they're basically just using that, because that's all they have to sort of back up what they're going to do. And I think there's going to be a point where, if it's not already happening, where more and more people are going to be like, this is no longer proportional. This is no longer an adequate response. I mean, it never was to begin with, but I think it becomes more obvious as it goes on. Like, listen, obviously, I think, Israel has to, after this happened, especially with hostages, they needed to do something. But in my opinion, they would have had really all around support for the most part if they were literally just focused on getting the hostages back alive. but that's not what they're focused on. Like, I don't want those people to die. I can only imagine how those people feel. It's been almost 2 weeks being held hostage. I can only imagine what how their family feels. I mean, there's obviously a opening here to save at least some of them. Otherwise, they would have been taken hostage. But we're not seeing the Israeli government do that. I want those people to live and be safe at home with their family. And it's really depressing that instead of doing that, we're just seeing more deaths of innocent people.
Yeah, they're just leveling blocks to the ground. Like it's not even like 2014 where you would see some buildings that are just completely crumbled. It's now you just see nothing. Like just photo after photo, drone footage after drone footage of just nothing. There's like just blocks erased.
I'm seeing this video get some attention. I haven't watched this yet, but apparently this is a good watch. So let's check this out. It's some Irish woman on BBC.
Oh, the Irish are usually the Irish and the Scottish are usually really good on.
They are.
Scottish politicians have been on fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
First of
And
all,
that's-
the
that one from
ANC
Spain, too.
was a terrorist organization.
Who from Spain?
Yeah,
I didn't see the Spain one.
I'll show you the Spain one.
Okay, yeah.
First of all, the ANC was a terrorist organization, and Nelson Mandela was a terrorist. And then you can say Yasser Arafat and the PLO, they were terrorists. Mr. Heaton-Harris, this didn't start on the 7th of October. Do the Palestinians have a right to defend themselves? Because the speak is, Israel has a right to defend itself. Did Palestine have a right to defend itself when land was taken from it, when people were dispossessed, when houses were levelled, when UN resolutions on torture, on ethnic cleansing, on apartheid? Did the Palestinians have a right to defend themselves? Did they have a right to defend themselves when Israel turn on and turn off the electricity and stop food and stop medical aid long before this attack?
Well, let's let him answer, shall we?
Just one more thing, right? There are 600 Palestinian children buried under the rubble at this moment in time. There are over 500 Palestinian children dead, and there are 500 Palestinian children in jail, 150 of them minors. Hostages. The children under the rubble are hostages. The children in the jails are hostages. There are hostages on both sides here.
Wow.
Wow, that was good.
That was really good.
Wow.
That was really good.
It's so hard in the moment to say all of that, and she did it. Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah. No notes. That was just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Lol Overruled. He's been on the show before. He a while ago made a post about how I think, like, and I could be wrong on this, it was like close to 20% of Palestinians will go through at some point the criminal justice system, and a lot of that percentage happen to be people who are underage. So there actually is a large percentage of people who are being jailed.
So here is what you shared, Lance.
I own Balara. This one's also going viral.
So Spain's Minister of Social Rights.
Mm-hmm.
Le he pedido en el día de hoy a nuestro socio, al Partido Socialista.
So we take the volume down then?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to read it, Lance, since you already saw her? Maybe you have it more fresh of mind.
Well, I'll
Could you do a Spanish accent just for realism?
No, it's too serious. I'm not doing silly voices. Okay, I'll do my Trump. No, I'm joking. No, I'm not going to. I'm joking. Today, I've asked our partner in the government, the Socialist Party, that we take ourselves more seriously in this fight against this planned genocide, which is being carried out by the Israeli government against the Palestinian people. To do this, we, as the government of Spain, need to urgently suspend the diplomatic relations with the state of Israel and promote a debate at the European level to apply exemplary economic sanctions to the people who are politically responsible for this genocide. This has been done with Russia, and I think we are already taking too long to apply it to Israel. We need to apply the sanctions to Netanyahu, to the Israeli Minister of Defense, and to the rest of the people who are politically responsible and who have decided to apply collective punishment to the Palestinians. I insist that the collective punishment that is being taken includes massive bombing campaigns against the civilian population, water cuts, electricity cuts, and what is a clear violation of the international humanitarian law.
Wow. Good. That's really surprising to see.
I know.
Her directly call for sanctions. And is she referring to the defense minister is Itamar Ben-Gvir, right? Or is it a different?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking about her. I was like, she's the Minister of Social Rights. I'm not
right.
sure.
Yeah, because she wanted to sanction. It's either Go Gallant or Itamar Ben-Gvir. I can't remember which one is the defense minister. One of the psychopaths. But for her to actually name drop them and say sanction, that's huge. That's fucking insane. That's really good. That is cause for hopium.
I mean, we had a politician in Canada who basically had to apologize for making the most like milquetoast, it wasn't even milquetoast, it was factually correct. Just basically like the collective punishment is not correct, and the occupation of Palestine has to end. And she had to apologize and retract
She shouldn't
it.
have.
So
She shouldn't have.
Now, there's an update to that. She is now suing, or she is threatening to sue Doug Ford. So Doug Ford, he's running the show in Ontario, his party, the Conservatives. He claimed, after she made her very innocuous statement, that she was supporting Hamas. I don't want to say this word on YouTube, but Raping. I don't know. Is that a better way to do it? But supporting Hamas doing that to women and children when she did, all she did was
Never
just
said that.
call for ceasefire, mention apartheid. So she's now saying that Doug Ford either has to apologize, like written apologize publicly, or she's going to sue for defamation. And I think she has a great case. Clearly, she didn't say any of that shit, and he's now helped to kind of like turn her into this pariah for just stating basic facts. And actually, I mean, to be fair, I haven't watched his full statement, but Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP, has come out recently.
Right now, Trudeau is also getting heat for taking what Matt Binder, I think, has said was the best possible approach, as in we don't know yet who caused the hospital bombing. He's publicly stating that, so he's not saying that it was an Islamic Jihad. He's saying that publicly, and he's getting a lot of heat for it right now. Yeah.
Who's this?
Trudeau.
For just saying we don't know what happened yet?
For saying, we're not saying in one direction or another who's responsible.
That's the correct response. That's the correct response.
You would think so, but
yeah. And before that, he was, up to that point, it appeared he was very just pro-Israeli government and really not questioning much.
Well, I think it's becoming quite clear what's going to happen here. Like it's going to become more and more clear because it's very obvious. I mean, by the Israeli government officials' statements to media, that they are just not going to show any sort of. They're going in with no sort of care for civilians, with no concern for casualties. They are just going to go in, and we're going to see, once there are boots on the ground in there, it's going to get a lot worse. And I think the public, unfortunately, it's going to get to that point. It's going to get to that point either way, it seems like at this point. But I think that's when public opinion will really start to turn, because it's going to be brutal. It's going to be really bad. And I don't see, if unless there are conditions put on Israel where you need to stop this or this will happen, there's no reason for them to stop.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all wanted to move on to a different topic, not necessarily good news, but it's something that I think is really interesting and worth discussing. Cornell West apparently is taking money from Harlan Crow.
Brother Harlan Crow, excuse you.
He defended it. And I thought that Alani had a really
he
good
also
take.
calls Sean Hannity brother Sean Hannity.
Yeah, the brother is
it's kind of.
I know that's his thing,
Yeah.
but it's very. I think this one specifically is the worst of them all. I think this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Harlan Crow has a fucking Nazi garden. He's got a garden of Nazi memorabilia because he just
remember
wants
how
to learn
bad it
about
is.
history. But
He wants to remember how bad it is. we all have gardens of things we hate, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. To haunt us at all times. Oh my God, cockroaches everywhere. Like, what the fuck?
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, so I have the tweet from Cornell, and then I wanted to play Ole's response to it because I think she put it best.
What
happened?
We lose Binder?
Oh, Binder dropped out. He did not want to talk about Cornell West.
Oh, someone else is getting Harlan Crow's money up there. Would be right in line.
There he is.
I got booted. I don't know what happened.
You left because we put Harlan Crow, one of your buddies that are giving you money.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish he was. I would certainly accept it.
Yeah, I've said that before. I was like, you can take money from terrible sources, like, big tech that pays a lot of us in ad revenue and stuff. These aren't good companies, but still talk shit about those people, right? Like, not say they're your friends or stuff. Like, if Harlan Crow's like, here's $100,000, I'm like, sweet, I'm making a fucking documentary on Harlan Crow now,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, there's obviously people who, like, when they take money from someone, they obviously change their tune, and that's what we're against. But if you're going to take money from someone and still shoot your shit, not change anything, then by all means take their money.
Absolutely.
Well, here's I don't have it on the screen, but I'll just read you his response. As an independent candidate and a free black man, I accept donations within the limits of no PACs or corporate interest groups that have strings attached. I am unbought and unbossed. Despite my deep political differences with brother Harlan Crow, who is an anti-Trump Republican, I've known him in a non-political setting for some years, and I pray for his precious family. I find it hypocritical for those who highlight his $3,300 donation to my campaign, but can't say a mumbling word about the PAC-driven $1 billion to support the genocidal attack in Gaza sponsored by their candidate. I'm fighting for truth, justice, and love onward. So that's what he said. And then I watched Ole's response, and as usual, Ole, she has a way of saying things that are just to the point and really truthful. So I'll play what Ole said.
I hate to be on Cornell West, but this is actually hilarious. So Cornell West took donation money for his campaign from Harlan Crow. If you don't know who Harlan Crow is, you'll know coon Clarence Thomas in the Supreme Court. Right. Coon Clarence Thomas was recently caught up in a scandal of having taken money from a Republican super mega donor, Harlan Crow. That Harlan Crow. Big fucking Republican that finances coon Clarence Thomas. That Harlan Crow is who's giving him money. So now, obviously, backlash. Now let me read to y'all what Cornell West said in response. Cornell West tweeted, as an independent candidate and a free black man, I accept donations within the limits of no PACs or corporate interest groups that have strings attached. I am unbought and unbossed. Despite my deep political differences with brother Harlan Crow, who is an anti-Trump Republican, I've known him in a non-political setting for some years, and I pray for his precious family. Harlan Crow has a garden full of Nazi memorabilia. White supremacist memorabilia. The fuck, his precious nigga, this is worse. You've made it worse. This is worse. This is worse. This is worse. Come on, and let me finish the message. Let me finish this tweet because he tried to strike us. He say, it is hypocritical for those who highlight his $3,300 donation to my campaign, but can't say a mumbling word about the PAC-driven $1 billion to support the genocidal attack in Gaza, sponsored by their candidate. I'm fighting for truth, justice, and love. Onward. Sweetie, stay focused. Stay focused. We can do multiple things. What you talking about? Yeah, Biden doing lots of you're fucking correct. And we've been talking about him and them and their genocidal Now back to you and this fucking money. Why you taking money from Republican super donors? Why you friends with who have Nazi memorabilia in their garden? Explain yourself.
I just thought everyone would enjoy that. It's always nice hearing from Ole. And that was the way she read out the tweet was just so good.
I think we can probably just say he's an incredible professor and public speaker and general human being and just not a great politician, at least so far.
Absolutely, yeah. He can't, like, everything that's happening now isn't going to erase all of the goodwill and respect that that he's built up that I have for him. But it's been really disappointing to see, this weird wishy-washy political thing that he's doing where he switches parties again and again, and now is taking right-wing money. It's disappointing. So, as a scholar and an academic, I mean, he's one of the best, if not the best. But like when it comes to, as you said, the politician thing, some people just shouldn't be politicians. Like their advocacy doesn't translate well into being a politician. You know, being an activist is one thing, but being a politician is an entirely different thing. So yeah, still respect Dr. Cornell West, still love Dr. Cornell West, but oh my God, I don't know what's happening, and I'm a little bit flustered by it. So yeah.
We could talk about Jim Jordan as well. That's kind of silly.
Yeah.
Is he still going for speaker, or is that over now?
I thought he was dropping out, but then I saw that he was still going to go for a third vote. I don't know.
He lost votes in that other round. He went from needing 20 to 23, I think. Right?
Yeah, so he gained 2 additional Republicans, lost 4. Not very good. Republicans off the record are saying that if there's a third round, he's going to lose 10 to 15 now, with the person who said this being one of the people who initially supported him, but said, I'm not going to support him this time. So it is amazing to me to watch this unfold. He had Sean Hannity on his behalf sending text messages to GOP holdouts. On top of that, Don Bacon's wife received threatening text messages, basically threatening her husband's career. Now, after they voted against him, you have multiple Republicans who voted against him of the 22 getting death threats now. So needless to say, his whole pressure campaign has not been working. But you can understand why there's this really strong push, because this is the moment for fascists. If you miss this moment, then you are not going to get another moment to have a fascist speaker like this. It's like us in 2020 with Bernie. Like, that was our one moment for a progressive, so we've got to do everything we can. But this is like, look, if we're going to get a Hitler type person, we're as close as ever to that. We've got to get him.
I'm surprised, Mike, how optimistic you're being right now. You think this is the only hope for fascists to get a House Speaker? I hope so.
At least
I don't know if that's going to be the case.
In the near future, at least.
Isn't he more of like a pedophile cover-upper than he is like, or is or a lot of his outspoken views are just like super anti-LGBTQ+?
Oh, he checks all the boxes.
Okay.
Years of covering up sexual abuse at Ohio State University, insurrectionist, election denier.
What's a national abortion ban? Which
he checks
which is what
all the
Democrats
boxes.
have been hammering.
Yeah.
Like they've been hammering the GOP holdouts on him to ensure they don't back him. By again, these are members of the party that are in like Biden leading districts, so they're afraid of losing swing voters. So they're hammering at issues like, you know, the national abortion ban that Jim Jordan wants, or the overturning of the election that Jim Jordan voted for, as a way to kind of scare these Republicans from supporting Jim Jordan. And so far, it appears to be working. I mean, these Republicans are scared to support something like that. But then my question is, what Republican would win speakership that doesn't support those things? Like, I like it just. I'm not sure who do they have that would be able to get the votes from the crazies, the crazy of the crazies, which is most of the party in the House. Like who are they going to get that didn't support overturning the election, or that doesn't support a national abortion ban? Like this vote can go on forever, because I don't know who they really have that can bring their party together.
Yeah,
I saw George Bush was voted.
George Bush.
By Brad.
That's
you know
maybe
who
the only
him?
way to get like a big name. That may be the only way for them to break this, is they have like some celebrity.
Do you know who floated George W. Bush though?
No.
Democrat Brad Sherman.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, as a consensus type candidate. But of course, you know, he doesn't necessarily agree with the Iraq War. But if, you know, the rules are correct and we could get somebody that will just give us, you know, up or down votes on budgets and stuff, then
does George Bush want to work? I don't.
I don't
he
think
really
so.
want to do that?
He's just an old war criminal who paints.
He wants to
now,
paint.
you know?
Yeah, he wants to.
just-
He's happy
just wants to
painting.
paint.
Why would he come back for this? I don't think he wants that.
Yeah, it's like whenever Democrats say things like this, it makes me want to rip out all the hairs on my head and on my face, because it's like, he shouldn't be serving as House Speaker. He should be serving time behind bars, and you should be calling for that, dumbass. Like, it's so frustrating that a Democrat's like, George, and like, he's not asked like by a reporter, what about George Bush? He's like, he speaks this into the universe. George W. Bush, like, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, I can't take Democrats sometimes. You have to stop, liberals. Shutting the fuck up is free. Sit back, watch them destroy themselves, and shh.
I love
It's
that there's a
totally
lot
in line though
more,
with how
like-
they've changed his image though over the year. Like they have rehabilitated George Bush and like
Thanks,
look at this
Ellen.
reasonable man.
Good job, Ellen.
it's
Yeah.
completely in line with that.
I literally unironically blame
I saw him
Ellen
on
so
Ellen.
much.
He's on
Yeah,
Ellen. He can't be bad now.
It's
He was
Ellen. No, of
he's
course.
friends
He
with
goes to
Ellen.
baseball games. Yeah, he paints. He paints.
Yeah.
I do not pronounce it Demoquat Lanzetta. Stop.
Ubu.
Democrat.
Gonna give me a complex. Democrat. That sounded southern almost. I'm just gonna stop saying it.
That did sound southern.
It did. Democrat.
Well, we could just get to super chats. I mean, this is.
I think that's fair.
I think that's the. There's video games coming out, so.
Okay, so okay, wait.
I want to go to bed early today,
I don't have
so I can
super
wake
chats
up.
because I'm trying to get this channel monetized. Thanks to everyone who's watching on YouTube.com/@mindsexplosions. By the way, you're all awesome. That'll help the hour count towards the inevitable 3,000 one day.
You jumping already, Lance?
Well, I'll
He's
stay
got no
for a
chats.
couple.
I don't
I'll
blame
stay for a
him.
couple.
If I had no chats, I'd be
No,
getting the fuck out of here immediately.
Yeah, but I'm also 3 hours behind you. But I just want to say we should schedule, if we do want to do this, and you are buying that game, then like, you know, is that for like the next Thursday, or do we want to do it on a Saturday? Do you want to?
Oh, in terms of when we're doing that, my schedule is always super weird. We should talk offline about that.
Okay, all right, fair.
No, let's show people how the sausage is made. Let's have a scheduling conversation right now.
Sounds like great radio.
I mean, listen, I am going to check out and just play video games this weekend, so I'm fine doing it whenever because I'm going to be doing the same thing either way, online, offline. I'm going to play video games, so I'm open.
I have a child, so that's why my schedule's is weird, but
yeah,
we will find a time.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people on the feed right now. I mean, on our streams right now. I gotta say, we got over 2,000 people.
I think
watching.
we had that last week.
Yeah, did we? Maybe that's the new.
It's the new standard.
I had 1,000 people watching me today, but I think it's because Hassan's at TwitchCon, and like I feel like that meme where like all the little puppies are feeding off the mother. I feel like whenever like Hassan is off somewhere else, all the other lefty streamers' numbers all just go like this.
Oh, somebody says they're still working through Lies of P. Sam says this in the chat. I beat Lies of P 4 times. New game plus. Literally
4 times.
4 times. I never.
How do you find
games.
the time?
It gets easier as you go along because you get more better weapons and you upgrade. So just chopping through them.
I haven't gone back to it since I lost to the second boss. I was just like, I died once. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
It's very good.
I'm enjoying it, but then I started playing Cyberpunk, and holy shit.
I heard
the DLC and the update.
Yeah.
It is so.
I also started.
It's like one of my favorite games of all time now. Like I am stunned at how much I love the.
Wow.
I love Grand Theft Auto. Like I love that open world style in the city kind of game, and it's basically that, but way better. The story's amazing. The storytelling is amazing. The voice, everything. It's so like there are so many side missions that have like deep story and proper like scenes and stuff that just like a side mission you can finish the game and not even see it, but so much work went into it. It's really amazing how much work they put into that. So
is there more?
I've been hearing that too.
Is there what?
More dong. Like have they improved dong like technology?
I think the dong stayed the same from memory, anyways.
How are the physics of the dong, David?
By the way, just
the
on
physics
that
were okay. That was never my complaint. I actually enjoyed the dong physics in the original.
Just on that point, is the game's not adult only, right? Like I think it's the first time where I'm like, are they allowed to show penis in video games now? Like, I just realized
it's rated M. It's for sure.
Yeah, but M-rated games did not have that. Like this
no,
is like a new
physics,
revelation now.
Like this, anyway.
They didn't have them at all. Like it's like now you're allowed to put this into M-rated games. I didn't know that until that
you can literally customize the dick and balls in games like Baldur's Gate 3. The future is wild, friends.
It is.
It's about time. I waited.
Yeah.
I'm in support. It's all good.
Exactly.
Is this what you guys are doing in your spare time?
You said the sausage. You wanted to see how it was made. We're making it.
Customizing dick and balls in your video game avatar.
I mean, listen, character creation, it takes the longest for a lot of us. Like to start a game, 2 to 3 hours. You spend 1 hour, 45 minutes on the appearance, the hair, and then, the rest 2 hours maybe on the dick and balls. So, it takes, it's very advanced.
Anyways, here's our first chat. Who's this for? We have Goblin Friend.
Let's see.
Oh wait, let me.
That is for me. Goblin Friend. $5 Canadian. Hey, been busy studying / being poor. News is bleak, so no FMK. Just want to say hi plus F apartheid, M a free Palestine, and K colonization. Love you to all. That's beautifully put. Yeah, thank you, Goblin Friend. Always nice to hear from you. Love you as well. Rick Robin Kanan with 125 rupees, I think. I don't know. Problem is
rupees, that would be India, right?
Yeah. I think I could be wrong though. I'm not sure. Problem is, how is anyone supposed to support the Palestinian cause if there are foreign nationals being held hostage in Gaza right now? Well, this was sent in earlier in the stream. If you saw the video of the Irish woman, she was explaining that every hostage obviously should be released. There are hostages held in Israel as well, minors who are hostages. So you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can condemn bad things and like
what
the Palestinians aren't responsible for the hostages.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, like I mean, that's a nonsensical dilemma.
Also,
you have
Hamas
there.
does not equal all Palestinians.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
there
what
is
we're
no
saying,
Hamas in the West Bank. Yeah.
Again,
Palestinians
it's like,
don't have
you can't
don't
blame
have control over that.
Yeah, you can't blame civilians for what a government is doing, or like what people in power are doing there. Like,
Oh, by the way, if you want to send Rebecca some love tonight, her Cash App is Becca's Voice. Send her some get well wishes. I believe she said she went off to bed in the chat, but yeah, don't hesitate to send her some love.
Bye, Rebecca. I hope you feel better.
Yes.
Snack Panther with super chat says, "I condemn Hamas and the IDF."
But quick question for you, Snack Panther: do you condemn Hamas?
Yeah, hang on. Actually. How long ago was this sent? Because it could have expired.
That's a really good point.
This one's for me, Parker 222. I condemn the IDF. I condemn the IDF. I condemn the IDF. But do you condemn Hamas though?
You must condemn Hamas as well. Which let's like put the jokes aside. Yes, we condemn Hamas. Obviously, just to be clear, in case there's any stragglers in here, like wondering what the hell we're talking about. Yes, it's a joke because people are always asked to condemn Hamas.
Without any reciprocation to the other side too. Like it's not like if you're, it's not like if you're pro, the Israeli government and you're out there defending them every which turn, you're asked 24/7 every time you open your mouth. But do you condemn the actions of the IDF when they do this or that? No, that's never even.
Including people that lost like family members, like in Gaza, and one of the first things they're asked is, do they condemn Hamas? Like, yeah, it's wild shit.
Oh, this is for me. Susan D with a super chat. Please accept this bribe and make me your Secretary of Education on the M&M ticket. Thank you.
Oh, I like M&M.
Yeah, I like that too.
I forgot that was happening.
That's great.
Still.
Yeah,
I think awesome. I also think that's awesome. The idea that I will give you a cabinet position if you send me money. So anyone who wants a position, start sending the cash, baby.
That's how it's been done. So.
Hell yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you see, Matt? I don't know if you saw, we got endorsed on the latest episode of Freestyle the News.
Did we really? Oh, we're already getting endorsements. We didn't even try to get any endorsements.
Yeah. Do you want to watch it really quick?
I do. Let's see our endorsement.
Only a couple of minutes.
Yeah. It's very. Oh, wrong one. Pulling up the old clip. Let me pull up my.
Oh, funny thing, by the way. I went to open up that tweet from the person who shared that video. I'm blocked for some reason, so now I'm dying to know what the rest of the content is on that account.
Oh, really?
I love when that happens.
Okay, let me pull it in. All right.
Come on.
Right up top?
Is that the beginning?
Hang on a second.
Sniper Wolf needs to be deplatformed.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. You can't hear it?
Okay, no, I just fixed it so you can.
In Gaza, images of homes crumbling.
Everybody got a statement and they know sap. Everybody got to take with the whole facts. Everybody think of something they can quote back. Got the bodies in the street like a whole stack. Steve saying he gon' roll, but he rolled back. Had a plan, but it died on me so fast. Got a deal from the strike and a contract. Get them all back. Wait a minute, you can hold that. Hold up. Wait. Hold up. Get the secrets out to Egypt. Bobby, you stuck in the deep end. Kevin say he isn't leaving like Sniper Wolf soon as she see him. Gavin out here with the vetoes. Separate cast that isn't equal. Data back to older people. All these rappers in their ego. Drizzy touchy on our Cheeto. Button messy here since 06. Throw a mic at Logan, split his whole lid. Barely throwing punches till you fold in. All that talking, walking out with no win. Ain't nobody listen to the whole spin. Free for all opinions, feel like Game Squid. Keep it messy, baby, till it's all big. Hope that activism gets you famous. Blackouts in Gaza. BB had the one on everything that are monsters. He focused on killing the courts and getting his stock up. Tell them all to leave, like, where the fuck can they go, bro? Everybody triggered off of certain phrases. Who you free and who you stand with. You get angry, disproportionate power, scrambling people antsy. I got Mike over Saint for president. Everybody trying to mix
Eminem, baby.
There's another one at the end, too.
Internet is not your medicine. All these people want the
That's
clicks
pretty
like
cool.
predators. Everyone a terrorist. Say they so American before they prison Hezbollah. Only trying to speak when they need my peace, like when your girlfriend talks about your crypto scheme. Oh! Too soon. The Humanist Report 2024, him and Matt Binder. One of their campaign promises is to upgrade all of their microphones so there's less fuzz.
Most exhausting news.
That was good.
All right, I think it's clear that we have a new national anthem. If Matt and Mike win, the presidency, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and that is one of our campaigin promise.
You guys are doing better than Jank already.
I honestly think if there was actually a poll, we would rank before.
He chose the worst time to launch a campaign. Like,
did you hear that? Did you hear that? Apparently, he's been disqualified from the Nevada ballot because on the sheet he crossed out natural born. In the check mark. Like on the official state government document, he crossed out.
How did you hear this? This is so funny.
Oh, let me here. This was
Is he? That means he can't get on any ballot then. If he's
here, pull this up so you could read it and on.
Is this the shortest campaign in history?
Oh, it's a whole article.
No, but they disqualified him because he altered the form.
Right.
Oh.
Cenk Uygur's week-old bid for the Democratic presidential nomination is already facing a major setback after the progressive was disqualified from appearing on the Nevada primary ballot for altering his declaration of candidacy form. The Nevada Independent reported the political commentator and founder of the Young Turks jumped into the presidential fray last week, despite being born outside the United States, making it unlikely that he would even be eligible to be able to hold the post. As such, Uygur crossed out natural born and replaced the term with naturalized on his declaration form. The alteration led election officials to reject his application ahead of the October 16th filing date, meaning he will not appear on the state's primary ballot.
Damn.
Okay, well, I guess that's the end of that.
I mean, why didn't he just why alter it? Just if your whole if it's like just put it through and see what happens instead of just automatically disqualifying yourself.
Do it without checkmarking. Yeah,
he's too honest. Well, could you be like, I don't know, get in trouble, like face any charges for lying on a government form
when you're filling out a federal form?
Yeah, so you probably can't legally.
But you also are not supposed to alter them. That's not a crime, though.
Say, well, then why not just
Then they
not
reject
check it off
it
at all? Like just
like imagine going to pay.
They probably reject it.
Like imagine going to pay like a ticket and just altering. I feel like it's more of like a $50 ticket than a $200 ticket. It's gonna scratch that out.
I hope we didn't lose money in the like if you had to get. I assume there's money involved for that, right? To have to be on the ballot, so
Oh, I'm sure you have to pay to file for sure.
Is he gonna get that back?
Look.
Are you concerned about the $50 or whatever it was, David? From
I don't think it's. I think isn't it like thousands? I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah. Listen, we have not been rejected on any forums because we have not filled out a single.
Right.
You guys are
write-in candidates.
That's the whole basis of the campaign.
Yeah. Biden is
back to
scared. There are reports that he's scared of us. FYI, that's a true story.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Virginia Murrell says Jim Jordan is giving it the old college try again tomorrow.
Oh God!
So I haven't looked. This is
so
unconfirmed,
he is? Okay.
But it's possible that Jim Jordan is again tomorrow trying to win. So
keep it coming, Jim. Love it.
Not for me.
That's for Matt.
Oh, 1 second. I lost track of where I was.
Oh, somebody wrote Mike or bust in the chat. I say Mike and bust. You could do both.
Ugh. Mm-hmm. Omega with a super chat. Paragliding while yelling for Palestine. Yeah, that would probably be a bad idea. That you probably should not do. Yes, that's
there are lines. That's probably a line you cannot cross.
We can mock people for the ridiculousness and fear mongering over literally anyone who has any interest in paragliding. But just openly making that connection,
yeah, you don't
not
want
a good
to
idea.
Something like that. Yeah,
I don't approve of that. Right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Super chat from Archangel. Matt, what happened to Brandon on the fun hour of the Emma Jari report? Haven't seen him for a while. He was on today. Me, Brandon, and well, last week I wasn't even on last week because Sam was at his Torts convention in Vegas where he streamed from. But he might have missed one or two before that, correct? But he was there today.
We still need to bring him on.
Yes, we do. But he's in Europe right now, so it's going to be difficult to have him on at this time. Yeah.
Lee with $5. The saddest part of this whole tragedy is that 80 to 85% of the victims in Gaza will be women and girls. I wish the faux feminist crowd would speak up. Yeah, I'm with you, Lee. It would be really nice if the people who purport to care about human rights and women and children speak up, but unfortunately, they are blinded by the media and their sphere of influence, so to speak. So yeah, I'm with you though.
I've not seen any of the pro-life crowd talking about the 50,000 pregnant women in Gaza. There's been zero mention of that.
Yeah, very telling.
Yeah. They don't. God, yeah, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
definitely
not. Social Lust with $4.99. Bassem Youssef is my new favorite comedian. He's amazing. I watched David's video on that, and then I went and watched the full thing. He is brilliant.
33 minutes, best 33 minutes of coverage on this. Now. Yeah.
I call it like. There are too many. I covered like the first half. There's too much goodness out of that I'm just like watch the rest of the interview. Like I can't cover the whole thing. It's too good.
Yeah, it's all of it is worthy of watching for sure.
For me, Pinkerbell with a membership super chat. Supporting Israel shows a fundamental flaw in a person's understanding of power. I expect better from progressives. Disappointing from Fetterman. I mean, he could at the very least just want a ceasefire. You don't even have to say.
Yeah.
We're not expecting him to come. I mean, we're not expecting him to come out and be like, "I'm, free Palestine against Netanyahu's regime." No, I mean that would be nice, obviously, but he's just refusing to even call for a ceasefire. I mean, the exact opposite.
Yeah.
He's attacking people who are calling for a ceasefire.
Yeah, you don't have to be this inflammatory. He could have put out a milquetoast statement that a lot of other Democrats are putting out. But instead, he chose to stoke the flames and say, now is not the time for a ceasefire. That is unforgivable. So I hope he gets primaried by a progressive. But odds are, even if that happens, he'd still win because he's taking AIPAC money. And when you have AIPAC money, you have a lot of money. So Palestinians don't have that lobbying power. Israel does. It's why you see a lot of policies, with regard to terrible foreign policy. But yeah.
Bender.
That was for me. I'm sorry. I'm really can't find my. Here we go. Renee with a super chat. Was that a hashish joke, Matapacos? Probably wasn't, but I have no idea what you're talking about anyway.
Is that Renee or is that Thomas Jerome Newton?
That's actually Renee.
Okay.
But he goes by Thomas Jerome Newton as his username. Don't ask me why. I don't even know why.
All right, just want to make sure you got the right name. This for me, yes. Snack Panther, thank you for the super chat. Says, what are we seeing? What we are seeing is years of manufacturing consent on behalf of Israel via corporate media brainwashing. # Free Palestine. It's definitely a big piece of it. I also think just it's not just the media. It's just the politicians as well. Like when you see every Western-backed power, the UK or every Western power, the UK, Canada, Europe, the US, all in unison, and there's not much dissent there, it's going to make most people think, well, like, I guess the right position is to just blindly support the Israeli government and not question anything. And that has just led to a lot of people, especially people that are not online, or not even online, but people that are not willing to, challenge their preconceived notions. They're going to stay thinking the way they think.
Tokyo Hans gifting me 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Tokyo Hans. And then Renee with another super chat. Okay, kids, look up the Leahy and Abraham and Stern. All right, I will. I don't know what that is. Narrator with a super chat. $10 super chat. Thank you, narrator. Biden has said that if there were no Israel, we would have to create one. Mm-hmm. Israel is a Western imperialist project to ensure a nuclear-armed military position in the Middle East. I mean,
that kind of gives the game away, right?
Right.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Fun fact about Biden. If you Google Biden apartheid, back in the day, he was grilling the Secretary of State for Ronald Reagan over South African apartheid. Passionate, to the point, factual. And so now, good. Yeah, he was on the right side of history, flipped in the future to be on the wrong side of history on this. Although, to be fair, I don't know what his stance was back then as well. But yeah, it's wild to see that coming from Biden, because he was on the wrong side of history on a lot of issues. The crime bill, student debt,
the war in Iraq.
The war in Iraq,
he played a significant role there.
Yeah, so I was shocked to see that, because he somehow got it right on apartheid, which I would not have expected from him.
I think part of it is, I'm not, a historian here, but part of it, I imagine, is that the powers within South Africa didn't quite have the same influence worldwide, or wasn't at least a strategic partner in the same way that Israel is now with Western powers. I have to imagine that has to be part of it.
Yeah. KD Dem with $10. Thank you, KD. They are faux aggressives. Progressive only on the top layer. Anna Jenk door celebrities don't live the life they can put it away and go to what's popular. POCs and LGBTQ plus people don't have that option. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put Anna and Jenk in this particular category, because from what I've seen, their coverage has been good.
They've always been solid on this.
Yeah, so I wouldn't characterize them. But certainly in a lot of these issues, if the progressive is kind of like saying something that seems off, odds are, like, not to sound liberal, but it's true, like it's privilege. Like, it comes from a place where they don't have to worry about it, or they can kind of like turn off the worry because it doesn't affect them. This is the whole NIMBY situation. Not in my backyard. Like, you care about poor people and you want affordable housing, but when they start building it in your neck of the woods, then it's like, ooh, I don't want to see that though. So I wouldn't attribute this to Anna and Jenk for sure. I think their hands are clean here, at least as far as I know.
Brian B with a super chat. I hope Joe talked about corn pop tonight. Maybe he did. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I believe this is for me. Yeah, asymptomatic behavior, $4.99. Thank you. All of my local politicians are backing this genocide, including Dems. I'm so hurt by this. I'm only voting on ballot issues from now on. Listen, I think that you are right to feel down. It's really, really overwhelming. But do understand that this is not a new phenomenon. Politicians have been terrible on this for a very long time, generally bad on war issues. Again, going back to the Iraq War. Don't sit out these elections. Don't feel discouraged. Just understand that, like, you're not alone, and seek out media that, like, makes you feel sane like this. Because yeah, I was really just feeling awful yesterday, seeing all these terrible tweets, like, from John Fetterman. That one really triggered the fuck out of me. Sent me into a rage. Just check out sometimes, otherwise it's really going to drag you down, and you don't need that for your psyche.
Skeeter Reed.
You know what? I want to add one thing. You know what? Let them know that you're not gonna. I agree with what Mike said, but don't let them know you're gonna do that until election day. Let them sweat it out. Let them know that there is a chance they will lose, and use this to your advantage to pressure Joe Biden and his administration. we should make it clear to them, even in whatever you're really planning on doing in November 2024. Right now, let them know that we'll sit it out if you don't listen to what we're saying, and to do whatever is possible and necessary to stop the airstrikes, the bombings, the war that's going on in Gaza.
Write to your MPs, write to your senators, write to your governors.
Yeah.
There's a
Mhm.
lot. Like if you do a Google search, the American Psychological Association will show you a guideline on how to do it and how to write the letter specifically and how to find where your local senator and or governor is. And in Canada, we have multiple websites. You can just Google it. They'll show you who your district's MP is. Write them directly. And yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Skeeter Reed, super chat, thank you, says, my dad says, quote, well, what is Israel supposed to do? Not respond? Straight from the mouth of Sean Hannity. I wish we could break the Israeli PR machine.
But who are they responding to? It's like if someone shoots your dog and you go over to your neighbor and punch them in the face, and they didn't do it. Why would you do that? You're attacking the wrong person. You want to attack, if you're going to even look for any revenge or retribution or whatever, you want to actually affect the person who hurt you. They're not doing that. And on top of that, there are hostages that should be, concerned about it, that they don't seem to have a concern for.
Like the focus out of the gate really should have been diplomacy. Like, how can we get these if the focus is the hostages, how do we get them out? Okay, what can we work out here? Like whether it's an exchange or whether it's a cease. I mean, last I saw, it's hard to know. It's hard to trust Hamas at the word, obviously, but they were saying if the bombing stops, then we'll give the hostages back. So I just feel like they're, bombing indiscriminately on civilian Palestinians is definitely not going to get the hostages back. So again, if that's the focus. So
And the point that Bassem Youssef made on Piers Morgan was really important. It's like, listen, we've done violence before, again and again. How is it going to be different this time? That's not going to stop Hamas. Like, what is different about this round of violence?
Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Whether it was an Israeli missile or Hamas missile is irrelevant. If Israel wasn't committing this apartheid, that missile wouldn't have been launched. If there was no apartheid, there would be no Hamas. I mean, that's sort of like you can't have this conversation about any of this without pointing out that, I mean, Israel has directly created the situation where Hamas is in power. We've heard it from Netanyahu's mouth himself. But also, they could literally kill every member of Hamas over the next how long they are going to be in there, which God knows how long they're going to be in there. But if the situation remains, there will always be a Hamas. Might be under a different name. It might be a different group. It'll obviously be comprised of completely different people. But as long as the situation remains as it is, they are creating the situation in which there will be a group of people who feel the need to fight back in very extreme ways, and attack innocent people if that's what those specific people feel like they want to do. They create this. I mean, it's the same thing with all of this. Like every single attack like this, it's always something of this nature. No one just wakes up and wants to put it all on the line there for no reason. I'm not saying it's what they do is good or they have a good reason even, but people do things for reasons.
This for you?
Oh, is this from me? Renee says, show the Edward said Charlie Rose interview. Renee, I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you guys know?
No.
I think it's Edward Said.
Edward Said, yeah.
Said. Okay, I read. My bad. I'm sorry. I thought you were posting something that didn't make sense. But now that I know that's the last name, I will look up.
I mean,
the
if it was like a
interview.
short clip or something, we could show something. But it's a long interview.
It's 20 minutes long. It's
Yeah, we're
kind
not
of-
gonna play that.
Yeah, just Google Charlie Rose Edward Said,
There
and
you go.
it'll come up. It's from 2001, November 20th. I saw the 11 and my brain went September 11th, but yeah, I'll check that out later for sure.
Who's this for?
Is this for me too? Yes, it is. Jeez. Brian B
Yeah,
with a super
geez,
chat.
I agree.
I donated over $1,000 to Bernie Sanders in 2020, and I'm hearing that he voted in support of Israel today. What a POS. Did he? There was 3 people.
What was the vote today? I didn't even see the vote.
It was a resolution in support of Palestine. 97 senators.
Not in support of
voted for it.
Palestine. You're wrong.
Oh, excuse me. In support of Israel. It was 97-0. So if Bernie made the vote, you voted for it.
There was 3 no vote. There were 3 people who didn't vote, and that's just because they weren't there.
Right. So Bernie would have voted for that anyway.
So Bernie voted for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, he's not the worst on this issue, but still, it has taken a lot of time for him to gradually come over to the right side. Like I remember back in 2014, during Israel's incursion into Gaza, then he was getting reamed at a town hall saying Israel has the right to defend itself as they're slaughtering innocents. So he's gotten a lot better, but he still misses the mark for sure.
Also, if you're looking for a campaign to send $1,000 to, there's a great campaign running right now. Figueredo Binder 2024. Please look into it. I hear a great thing.
We don't accept donations, remember?
I do. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Never have heroes unless it is Matt or Pelosi. I agree. Those are the 2 people.
One and the same.
I was going to say they're essentially the same person, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same picture.
I love Nancy Pelosi. Goblin friend, $2 Canadian. I condemn Hamas, but these edibles haven't hit yet. Yes, that's a reference to Sarah. I was gonna say Sarah Palin, but Sarah Silverman's dumbass.
Might as well be Sarah Palin in this issue. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Sarah, if you're watching this, which you're not, but if you're watching this, you're being ridiculous. That's an old throwback. I wonder how many people will get that.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
Remember
that
that?
was about supporting Hillary or something after the primary.
It was the booze
or about supporting Biden
during the DNC convention after they rigged it against Bernie. She responded to the booze next to Al Franken saying, "You're being ridiculous, Bernie bros," or some shit like that. Yeah.
And she supported Bernie. She's
she's like,
she was a Democratic Socialist.
Yeah.
She
Stop crying
after
that
this
they rigged
conflict
it.
began, she left the party.
Yeah, she is an insufferable liberal. She is the quintessential liberal.
Snack Panther, super chat.
I'm going to bow out as well, by the way.
Good night.
You take care, Lance.
Keep on keeping, everyone. Let's sausage out when we're playing the video game.
Send me your Twitch.
Yes.
Raid me.
I'm on YouTube on youtube.com/@mindexplosions. Thank you
You're
all for
not on
watching.
Twitch?
Unless I can raid you through YouTube. Do they have that?
No,
I don't
they
think-
should
I don't
have
think
that.
they do have. I can't
They
believe
really
they haven't
need
done
that.
yet.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, take it easy, fam. I'll see you next
You take
Thursday.
care.
If not sooner.
Oh, that's why I have so many people watching me on Twitch. I was wondering where all these Twitch viewers were coming from, and I was like, wow, between me and Lance, a lot of people watching us on Twitch today. And now I found out that Lance isn't there.
I haven't checked my
close.
Twitch.
Too close.
Oh my God.
Back it
Oh
up.
my
Back
God.
it up. There we go.
Oh my God. Snack Panther, thank you for the super chat. It says, you guys noticed all the pro-Israeli commercials. I have YouTube Premium, so luckily I don't have to see any of those.
No, I've seen them. Yeah, they're
for how
all
much I
over
watch YouTube, it's definitely worth it. But you've seen them, yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible, I'm guessing.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
All YouTube commercials are the most insufferable commercials imaginable. So I would imagine they're bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colleen says ad block, but they're fighting ad block right now. So it's tricky.
For me. Angela, thank you for your super chat. It says, call to action for Canadians. David and Lance, please shout out counter protests against trans hate organized by Facebook by 1 million voices for inclusion. We need everyone to come out, especially small towns. All right, there you go. Does it say when it is? I guess so. Look up 1 million voices for inclusion on Facebook, and you will find that.
Kuya Diamond with $9.99. Thank you. Hopefully I said your name right. I'm sure I did not, but I appreciate the super chat. Picking up Super Mario Wonder tonight. Hell yeah. Wondering if you saw Channel 5's relaunch. I don't excuse the allegations against Andrew, but I still value his coverage, and C5 usually focuses on people and not him. I have not seen his relaunch. I did not know that he relaunched. I personally would like to see like
weren't the allegations really bad?
They were very bad. I would like to see what he's done since to hold himself accountable before I watch it. I probably just wouldn't feel comfortable watching it personally. If you're able to separate that, then
Yeah, I don't think you really can. I mean, just because it's not focused on him, it doesn't mean like not watching it doesn't.
For me, it's just hard for me to support. Yeah, it's hard to support. It's hard to support him now, knowing what I know. I just can't like unsee it. So I would like to know what he has done.
Not a big Roman Polanski film, and it's not like he puts himself. I'm not a big Roman Polanski fan, and it's not like he's putting himself in his film. So I can enjoy a good Polanski directed movie, right? I mean, it's the same sort of thought process there, right? I mean,
yeah. I'm just tired of supporting bad.
I mean, I don't know I don't remember what the allegations were, and I don't know if they were anywhere near as bad as Polanski. But I mean, I recall them being they were rape. We can't say that on YouTube.
Like sex pest, coercing women.
I don't have enough time in the day already for things I want to do. For me to go out of my way to watch someone I don't really care to watch would be
right.
an even greater waste of my time.
Yeah.
So, no.
Andrew S. Also, thank you for becoming a member. $2. David Dole charity tattoo stream. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's
right on his forehead too.
Yeah, let's get a leftist mafia tattoo on
more
David.
If that super chat went to me, then I could have put that $2 towards a nice tattoo. I'm sure you can get a good tattoo for $2, right?
Oh yeah. Although they do have some tattoo parlors have like $13 tattoos or $30 tattoos for special occasions like Halloween and stuff. If you go to the right place.
A lot of tattoo places do flash. I don't know about $13. I haven't seen one of those.
I've seen 13 before, but
maybe out in Portland, Oregon, but here in New York City, I've seen flash, which is like $30 to $50.
Yeah, and you pick,
and they're very small though. They're very 1 inch tattoo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point?
Yeah, it still takes a while to get the tattoo though, because they've got to set it up, clean. So it's a lot. Social Lust $1.99. Mike has the Kyle Kulinski special. What does that mean?
What's that mean? Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Has the Kyle Kulinski special?
Was it something I referenced earlier? I don't know.
Oh, the tribal tattoo. I think Kyle has a tribal tattoo, doesn't he?
Oh, Kyle does have a tribal. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's what that was referencing.
To be fair, Kyle's is on his arm and less conspicuous than the one on my back. Mine is very, very ugly. I hate it so much. I can get it covered up though, thankfully. I just haven't really had the time. It's on my back, so it's like I'm not really looking at it. I forget it's there, so it's not the biggest deal. But yeah. Me and Kyle are both like products of the 2000s millennial dudes. Same exact age too. We're like 6 months apart. So we
really,
yeah.
T King with a super chat. By the way, David Pakman has had only pro-Israel statements. I haven't watched him. I believe that you. I mean, for those who are familiar with him, I mean that's
I don't really watch his foreign policy videos, especially
I've never agreed with Pakman when it comes to foreign policy. Always had really strong disagreements on Israel, Palestine, Venezuela.
He's also just been wrong. He was wrong about Bolivia. He remember he supported that coup.
Oh,
with Jeanine Áñez, and then I don't think he ever came out to apologize for that. So
yeah.
Again, I mean, Pakman isn't. I've mentioned the history of me and Pakman, but I will say, it is stunning to me that like his problem with me was something I said. In that Michael Brooks Memorial episode where I was just talking about how I met Michael and how I jokingly said to him how he belonged on this show more than Pakman's because that's where we found him. He was producing for Pakman or something, and he would appear on there every now and then. And I have to say, like, the fact that he got mad at me for saying that, and like you look at his coverage of Israel, and then you know who Michael Brooks was, where this guy, even if you've never heard of him before, you've come across his super infamous now video about Palestinian rights. I mean, I would say I stand by my statement more than ever that he wasn't long for the David Pakman show, and he was right at home on the Majority Report.
Yeah, I'm not a Pakman hater. I just have disagreements. Look, I bought the book. Okay, so don't come at me, people. I don't want no more drama. I've got enough drama. We've got too many beefs brewing on the leftist mafia.
Too much drama in your life.
Yeah.
48484. You guys should show the clip of Trump saying other Republicans eat their young. When did he say that? Other Republicans
he did say
eat
that, yeah.
their young?
He misread his teleprompter and he said they eat their young.
Not good.
Did he say it twice? I can't remember. Let me find it. It's pretty short if I'm remembering right.
That's hilarious.
Just got raided by the Overluck. Thank you so much for the raid, Overluck. Hey, Overluck Raiders, we're just reading some super chats on Leftist Mafia here. Finishing up the stream, but stick around. The super chat part is fun. And when I say finishing up, I mean we might be here for another hour.
No, I will make sure. You may be.
I may be here for another hour. We'll see how long these super chats take.
Okay, I found the video. Let me pull that up. Speak of the devil. David Pakman shared it. Let's watch it. Oh, wait.
It's not up.
I didn't bring it in yet. Hang on 1 second. Okay.
Whoa.
They eat their young. Terrible statement, but it's true.
I thought it was Hillary who ate the babies or something.
Remember, Republicans eat their young. They really do. They eat their young. Terrible statement, but it's true.
Wait, what?
It was
What was that in relation to?
Babies.
Remember.
I think he was trying to say they eat their own when he was talking about the speaker race, I want to say.
I thought maybe he was talking about like Matt Gaetz or something. Like they're going after Matt Gaetz. He's one of the young ones.
I don't know.
Republicans eat their young. They really do. They eat their young. Terrible statement, but it's true.
I thought it was
All right.
Hillary who ate
All right,
the babies or something along those lines.
Remember,
All right.
Trump.
I think this is for me. Tokyo Hans, just to lighten the mood a bit, I want to give a shout out to my wonderful partner celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary tomorrow. I am glad I tricked her into becoming a Binder fan. Well, I thank you, Tokyo Hans, and happy anniversary. Congratulations. 10 years. Nothing to, what's the phrase? Nothing to snuff at? What is it again?
Nothing to write home about? No, that's if it's not a big deal.
I forgot. It's too late. I've said this phrase saying before, but I can't think right now. Congratulations. That's my point. Kowalski with a super chat. News might not be great, but at least we have corn. Kowalski's referencing how this past week on my stream, he called in with live video from his, what is it called, Kowalski? I'm not going to see it.
Cornfield?
He was in his cornfield, but he was in the tractor, and it was like shooting the kernels into the back of the, like automatically shooting all the corn kernels into the back of the truck. It was crazy. The combine harvester. I think that's what it was. Right. Thank you.
Sweet.
Oh, is this for me too? Wanda MV with a super chat. Please consider supporting World Central Kitchen and Doctors Without Borders. They are doing God's work on the ground in Gaza. Absolutely, folks. In all seriousness, do look into helping out if you can, obviously. Organizations that are on the ground there who can directly help people who are hurt, injured, provide medical care, food, water, any sort of assistance they're going to need, because it's I don't know what's going to happen and how long it's going to happen for, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, even if the war were to be over, or I should say the incursion into Gaza were to be over tomorrow, it's still going to be a massive humanitarian disaster. So yeah,
There are a lot of people who have nowhere to go. Like their homes are gone. They're just there's nothing.
Yeah.
Barb LC, thank you for your super chat. Says, do you all think this whole situation is giving more coverage of the general situation in Palestine than they have had in a long time or ever? I mean, absolutely. That's undeniable. I think it's getting a lot of people to, media generally, but also just I think people are becoming more aware of it because of that. So, yeah.
Oh, the saying I was looking for is nothing to sneeze at. Why did I think it was like some made up? I thought it was some like made up word. Like I don't know. That's why I said like.
There's nothing to shake nothing to shake a stick at. Isn't that something too?
Yeah, I've never heard nothing to sneeze at.
Really, that's what I was thinking of.
I've heard the shake a stick.
Kowalski, what is your king's thoughts on Palestine? What is king? Is he just calling us kings, or is this like a thing where there's king's thoughts?
I have no idea. I don't know what he's referencing here.
Is he just joking because that's the whole show? But yes, thank you, Kowalski.
Wanda MV with $5. Thank you, Wanda. Always nice to hear from you.
This is for me, but you could read it if you want.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. She has a similar message to me, so I was waiting for a Wanda one coming up next. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Thank you for your great coverage of the crisis in Gaza. Oh, thank you, Wanda. Much appreciated. Oh, also for me. Koru, member for 50 months. Oh my.
50 months? What the?
God.
What? How do I? What's the one for this?
It's got to be the best
I did
one.
everything right, and they indicted me.
There you go.
That's over 4 years
best I
of
could do.
subscribing to you.
That is wild. Yes,
Wow.
And by the way, I do recognize you, Koru. I've seen your name many times. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Says, so heartening to see Israelis fighting against the war in Palestine. That is the best scenario I can think of. Yes, it. In fact, I'm not sure what the coverage is like now, but even I was even surprised by a lot of the media coverage coming out of Israel. I was very critical of Netanyahu and how he's propped up Hamas and how his inaction or his ongoing the ongoing occupation has only helped to exacerbate these issues. So it's good to see that there are a lot of people who are understanding the larger conflict.
Oh, real quick, back to the nothing to sneeze at. Mouselander says nothing to scoff at. That's what I've heard.
That's the other one I was thinking of. Both of those work.
Yeah. And in response to Kowalski, people are saying the King of Canada, because that's your king, David. King Charles. That's what he's referring to. What does your king think of it?
I don't think about I don't think about King Charles. I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
So that's how important he is in our lives.
There we go. This was the Wanda one that I was looking for. Wanda, thank you so much. Mike, you and all of the Leftist Mafia are doing a great job covering the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. It's important that we get it right. So that affirmation is important. Thank you.
I lost my place, so this might be for me. Yes, it is. Mark O'Brien, $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, I'll be meeting with my Congressman Jerry Connolly of Fairfax / Northern Virginia area in person soon to express my concern for Palestinians. Any advice on what I should say or important points I should make? Man, it's a big. There's just like I don't know what's
pressure.
What's a quick and easy way to explain the situation, or like? Honestly, I don't know how I would approach that.
Yeah, compared to the Iraq War, Palestinians are not Hamas. Those are the really main things.
Yeah, I feel like hitting like basic points, basic breakdowns, like even just saying like this is apartheid. Even that I think is too much. Like it's got to be sort of a. Then again, he understands. Jerry Connolly knows.
He was around.
I'm not
for
even
apartheid.
Sure. Yeah, he understands the situation. So it's more about emphasizing how important the issue is. I would bring up all the human rights organizations.
Yeah.
That including, human rights experts at the UN that have correctly described the atrocities going on, the ongoing occupation, the apartheid. Human Rights Watch, Israel-based B'Tselem is a human rights organization that is also express their concern about Israel. Amnesty International. There's a lot you can pull from there, because I think that sort of gives validity to the argument for people who are in power, is bring up the large organizations that are very concerned about what the Israeli government has been doing.
Yeah, and trust yourself, Mark. I think you've got this.
Yeah.
Kowalski with 199. Thank you. My neighbor is really into Wolfenstein villains. Interesting.
Tay 88 super chat, thank you, says a zombie apocalypse would end the Israel and Palestinian war, which is in the book and movie World War Z. I have not read the book or seen the movie. Did that happen, really? That seems like a ridiculous.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie in a very long time. I played the game recently.
Seems like a ridiculous plot, but okay.
Very far with 199. I'm sure it's just to reinforce his hatred. Jay Cass with $5. Regarding your presidential run, if you install a policy of an elderly fight club, then you have my vote and an endorsement. Are you trying to suggest that I would condone elder abuse or elderly abusing each other? I would never, J-Cast. I would never speak ill of the elderly.
It would be an elderly fight club, but it would be Mike fighting the elderly.
Specifically, like demons and ghouls, like
JCast $5, thank you, says, do y'all think that the Harlan Crow donation is a ploy similar to how the right propped up RFK to siphon away potential votes from? I mean, we got to.
I mean, Harlan Crow didn't donate to.
It's three.
Cornell West because he supports his policies or something.
No,
it obviously was to prop up a third party candidate who could hurt Joe Biden. And
at the same time,
probably create some sort of what we're seeing now.
To me, it sounds like they know each other. Like that's the Cornell West, like $3,000. It's $3,000. That's like 3,300. That's the max. That's not going to do a whole lot, really.
Yeah. Oh, on top of that, there were more things that came out that like Cornell West campaign had paid Nick Brana like thousands of dollars for something after he had left the People's Party. So there's a lot. Like there's so much that I would not have expected from Cornell West campaign, and it's all really distracting from whatever message he wants to get out, which is unfortunate.
Kowalski, excuse me, says Jimmy Carter, bad president, probably a good man.
True.
I was not alive for his presidency, so I do not know all that much about him as president, but he is definitely a good man.
I think this is for me. Jay Cass with a super chat. As a VP candidate with Mike, will y'all imply rules similar to the Saw movies for Congress and get a real life Jigsaw to moderate said rules? I don't remember what the rules are in the Saw movies, so I don't know.
It's usually like if you want to survive, then you've got to cut open your own stomach and get the key out to unlock.
Right, stuff like that.
I mean, really,
is that what you're asking for? Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm open to it depending on the member of Congress. So,
I'm glad I've never seen the Saw movies and never. It's not my thing at all.
The first Saw movie is really good. The first Saw.
They are good. Yeah.
It would be me closing my eyes the entire. Like I'm not gonna. There's no point watching it.
Yeah, if you have a queasy stomach, it's bad. I don't know that I can watch it now.
I just don't enjoy it. Like it's like I can see it, but I'm not enjoying it. Why do I want to look at this? It's just I don't.
Honestly, it gets to like if I remember because I watched like Saw 1 through 4. Like I was really into them when I was younger. It gets to the point where they're just so ridiculous. Like the way that they're killing people is like, shut up, like shut the fuck up, like how stupid. So it's just like enjoyable in that sense. But I hear that they're more serious in like the newer one. I've kind of checked out a long time ago. I'm much more queasy nowadays, so I can't see all the gore as much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not my thing. Is this for you, Mike?
No.
What was that? It's not for me.
I will not acknowledge.
Okay.
It says Democrat. We'll go to the next one.
I thought
Thank you, J-Cass, for whoever that is for.
I will not play into your games, J-Cass.
Who's? Oh, this is for me. I'm like, who's Troy Clark giving this generous donation to with no chat at all? Troy Clark, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I gotta find my applause. I keep meaning to get new applause and I keep forgetting.
You got the corporate one. No.
Yeah, that's all I got for you. Sorry, but I do thank you.
For Resto with a super chat, shout out to the cowards on relatively political Facebook groups who shut down the comment section of any post if people start discussing Israel. I'm not in political groups on Facebook.
Oh my God, I would never. Why would you waste your time?
Yeah,
Going on Facebook and talking politics is like the worst thing you could do.
No, thank you.
Never.
That sounds terrible for your brain, your heart, your body,
especially
your mind,
strangers.
your body, your soul.
I've lost so many friends on Facebook, like IRL friends, just learning about their politics. Just don't go on Facebook.
I'm guessing this is from me. Mikey with a super chat. Matt, have you spoken about Stizza and leftover crack to the people? I have. I've mentioned it a few times. How there's been allegations against Stizza from his ex-wife about abuse. I even made a sort of just a visual. I don't know, to just not wear their shirts for quite a while. But then I just came to the conclusion that I'm running out of shirts to wear, and I already bought them, so it's not like I'm giving him any money. It's not like the band exists and is playing anymore, so it's not like I'm promoting them either. It is what it is. There's a lot of crappy people who do crappy things. I would not give... there was Anti-Flag as well. Broke up because of RAPE allegations against the singer. So I mean, a lot of people do terrible things. You have to, I guess, decide where you draw the line and what you do to deal with that in terms of what you'll stop consuming or doing. I mean, I guess if you already own something of theirs, you're not giving them any more money. It's not like, it's doing anything.
Seems like a Matt message.
Is it from me?
It looks like it is.
Yes, it is. Ignore Husky with a $10 super chat. Just tuned in a bit ago and gonna rewatch the rest of the show later. Tomorrow got a fun day. Gonna see DRI at Crash Fest in Portland. Gonna thrash it up tomorrow when we calling in. Matt, LOL, cheers. Oh, have fun. Mike, why don't you hit that up too?
There you go. Crash Fest, Mike. I already got plans. There's 2 games coming out tomorrow, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
let's not get crazy here with Crash Fest.
Right. Black Sparrow plus $4.99. Thank you. Is that okay? I couldn't tell. I'm like, whose face is super? That's so funny. Jack Sparrow, love it. I get distracted by the avatar sometimes. But anyways, Mr. Figueredo, would you be willing to reach across the aisle and kiss a Matt Walsh diaper baby plush? Absolutely not. I would not touch that thing with a 10-foot pole, let alone kiss it. So I would not be willing to do that. I'm not going to be very bipartisan, unfortunately. In fact, I won't be bipartisan at all.
Let me answer this question as it's a campaign question. How much are you going to pay me?
Oh, Jesus.
That's what moves Matt Bender.
Matt Bender would be like the Menendez who's like doing secret deals with Egypt and shit.
No, I'm not. Listen.
Gold bars in his socks.
Listen. My corruption will have morals. Okay. Nothing like that. You want me to do a dare of some sort, like kiss a Matt Walsh plush? Sure, pay me for that. I'll do that. But I'm not gonna get involved in political turmoil, injected into policy.
Jay Cass, $10 super chat, thank you, says, did y'all see Megyn Kelly go off on a transphobic triggered rant against Dylan Mulvaney and accuse Alicia Keys of being pro-Hamas for some reason? I guess that's what we talked about earlier. She was wearing like a two-tone jacket.
Yes.
Saw it on Brittany Page's channel. Highly recommended.
Okay.
I feel like I've had my fill of transphobic rants.
Megyn Kelly.
I don't really.
She's
I'm
gone
not
on
really
like
eager to see them.
Yeah, she's gone on multiple anti-Dylan Mulvaney transphobic
I'm sure,
rants
yeah.
at this point.
I also find her kind of boring, and she's just very. I don't know.
She's a has-been.
She's not interesting. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, think about this.
Like, does she have power? Like, if she has power, that's one thing. I don't think she has much power.
Yeah, Thomas Loren. I mean, she is a has-been. So, like, think about how far removed Megyn Kelly is, who's behind Tommy Loren from relevance.
Did you call her Thomas Loren?
What did I say?
Because I was thinking Thomas Loren.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. I was like,
Did I really
Loren.
say?
Yeah, you said Thomas Loren.
Thomas Loren.
I was like, what? It's like, who the fuck is that?
Isn't it like Tommy Lauren? Like,
I'm tired. That's how irrelevant she is.
Sounds like
video on her
sounds
should
like
be
a
Thomas
clothing
Lauren.
designer. Check out the latest Thomas
I'm like,
Loren.
Is that Ralph Lauren's like sister, like or brother? Who is that? Like?
Thomas Loren. I'm gonna just start misgendering every right wing political figure. Okay.
Well, apparently that's not a good thing to do. Even though,
not a
even
good
though
idea to
strategically,
do
I
that.
think it is actually very
Yeah,
effective.
no,
but-
I'm just joking about what Mike did. Right. I obviously am not going to do that.
Ray Russell with $20. My God, that is very generous. Thank you, Ray. Started the stream a little late, but have you guys seen the Daily Wire / Brett Cooper Snow White trailer? I can't imagine having that kind of money to burn.
Wait,
I
what?
Are you kidding me? Did
I've
they really
seen a
do
screenshot.
a movie?
Can we watch?
Wait,
Let me
is it like
check.
a fake trailer? Like, what is it?
No, it's a real movie. They launched a kids streaming service, and then they're also doing Snow White live action with Brett Cooper.
Oh my
Well, to
God.
be fair, she is definitely an actress. I mean, you could see in her goddamn YouTube videos how much of an actress she is. So the casting makes sense since they already have her on staff.
Oh, it's a
Just
teaser.
Might as well throw her in a movie as well.
Oh no, it's not copyrighted. It's their own shit. So let me bring it in.
Well, it's like a teaser. It should be fine.
Yeah, because I don't know if they have copy or content ID, I should say.
Is it what channel is it on? Well, whatever. We'll just
Where?
let's just look at a bit of it. I assume it's. Oh, let me take this chat off the screen if I can find it.
Can you all see it on the screen that I share? Yeah, okay.
Oh, 50 seconds. Okay, yeah. Let's see what this is.
Let me just. Okay.
Oh, I saw the screenshot. I didn't know what the hell it was. Oh
Wait,
my
this is
god!
all it is?
It's just kind of a teaser coming
No.
soon.
Go
Is
to
this
the,
a
go
joke?
go to the beginning again.
Once upon a time,
She sings to.
in time a prince would come.
I tell you something. It's already looking like a porn parody.
I mean, that's like the level of production I'm seeing here.
It's looking like a porn parody. It looks like we're gonna see.
Oh my god,
That's great.
that's wild.
I'll
Thank
be
you,
watching it day one.
Thank you, Ray, for bringing that to our attention.
Mm-hmm.
One of you.
Oh, it's probably from me. Alan Hill with a member super chat. Mike and Binder already have the best stance on Palestine. We can let all the people who say Biden has crossed the line know that there's still hope. Thank you.
There you go.
I don't want to give them false hope though when they learn that
But there's no
we're
chance.
not going to win.
T-Types with a super chat. Check the Onion's post about the hospital bombing. They're still making good jokes amid the tragedy. Onion has been on fire.
I
They've been
saw
really
it.
good.
They've
been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring it up. It's really good. If you, have you
Also,
guys
I'm looking
seen it?
forward to that Snow White movie where Brett Cooper is about to bite the apple, and then she turns to the camera and promotes like don't forget to gunsandammo.com.
If you want fresh
she's the
fruit
master
at
at
your door.
she's the master at the ad segue.
I hope Ben Shapiro is the prince in this because it looked like he's kissing himself since they look identical in that scene. That'd be so funny. I'm gonna watch it for sure.
Israeli military reports it was you, the reader, who blew up the hospital.
Wait, they've had some really good headlines. Go through it. There's been even better. I thought even better ones.
Get this off the screen. Yeah.
Go to their. They've had some really good ones. Whatever. Keep going.
Some of them are off. I mean, they're off topic.
That one's a good
urges
one.
Americans not to let dangerous online rhetoric humanize Palestinians. Jesus Christ. Oh my
They've
God.
been really.
They've been all. They never miss. Wait, what? So horny
for this tweet's official Israeli Twitter account with a picture of dead civilians. Oh my God. Oh my God. See if we can find one more. I saw this. I laughed at this too. First date going really well. Man who thinks man who hasn't stopped talking yet. Palestinian family trapped under rubble. Thrilled to hear Gaza trending on Twitter.
Damn.
All right. God.
That you, the reader one, is a good one.
Yeah. All right, where was it? Nicholas, $10 super chat. Thank you. Says, how do I maintain hope in humanity right now? My heart feels crushed. I mean, we discussed a bit during the show that there is a big outpouring of support for, all civilians, but Palestinians and fight against the occupation. And I mean, you saw the protest at the Capitol. Like there are maintain hope, knowing, or looking at the polling that we showed as well. You can maintain hope knowing that the majority of people in the world aren't crazy. It's just when you're online all the time, or always glued to the news, it can make it gives you a certain perception of society that isn't necessarily accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Dixon, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, mad love for all of you. Thank you for your thoughts, insights, and coverage of the unbelievably sad events unfolding on the other side of the world and the heartless reactions of too many of our world leaders. Thank you, Dan. Dan is the one that also sent me a very generous donation earlier this week, and I believe he sent me a Steam code for a game because he is a game designer.
What?
Yeah. Oh my God.
What game? I want to play his game.
Now I gotta. So it's like I'm gonna find it now since I brought it up and I'm forgetting the name. But it's like a space simulation.
Oh.
And it has like perfect scores online. I was like, holy shit! Like this is
I'm interested.
It's called Universe Sandbox. Look up Universe Sandbox.
Wait. I'm pretty sure I already have that. He did Universe Sandbox?
Yeah. Look up Universe Sandbox, and he's behind that. Has a perfect score on Steam.
I'm pretty sure that I have this already.
It's a realistic physics-based space simulator that allows you to create, destroy, and interact
Dan,
on
you
an
made
unimaginable
Universe
scale.
Sandbox? What
There you
the
go.
fuck?
Yes, I know.
I've had this for years.
He sent me the Steam code. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yes, Dan, thank you so much for your ongoing support.
Archangel with $20. My God, thank you so much. That is a very generous donation. Mike,
You should add to the Universe Sandbox creator. You should add Leftist Mafia to the what are people saying about it, right under where you have a quote from Neil Blomkamp, the director of District 9 and Elysium. Wow. Yeah, right. Well, fit us right in next to Markiplier and Kotaku, by the way. Fit us right in there.
That's really cool though. He's a legend. That's amazing. That game has been around for a while. I think when I first got my gaming PC, that was one of the games that I picked up.
That's awesome.
There you go. But Leftist Mafia, when I first picked up my gaming PC, Universe Sandbox, first game I picked up.
First thing I grabbed.
and
There
put
you
it
go.
right
That's a
where
perfect
next to Bill Gates' comment, and there's no Bill Gates on there.
No,
But
here's how you elevate it. Presidential candidate and leftist mafia podcast host Mike Figueredo. You got a presidential contender.
Right.
That's right. Yes. And Dan, by the way, I messaged you on Twitter. I don't think you use Twitter anymore, but I did thank you on there in case you check Twitter.
Or you could just fit us in there and use the quote that I had, which is, "Hey, put us in that section right on your website."
Okay, Archangel, $20. Thank you again. Really appreciate that. Mike just wanted to note that everything we're giving Ukraine is hurting our military readiness. I tracked this for Forscom, and this is a serious concern not seen in public. I can only say so much, but it's ridiculous. Honestly, I'll be 100% honest with you. I have never once been concerned about military readiness. I think that we're overly militarily ready. I think we need to cut back on our military bases throughout the world. So I honestly don't know what you're referring to specifically, but I don't think that aid to Ukraine would be harming military readiness, although I don't know what it is you're referring to. But look, I'll be honest, I just don't care about military readiness. We're not under threat. I fear more for
We're over
our
ready.
victim.
We're too ready. We need
I
to
fear for other
dial
people,
it back.
not us personally. Like, I'm not worried about us. I'm worried about what we can do to other people. Lee with $5. Thank you, Lee. On a lighter note, could I be your secretary of HUD? My main policy push will be to outlaw corporate landlords. Hopefully, Blair won't send me a C&D letter. Sure. Yeah, you could absolutely, since you asked and paid $5.
Who'd that super chat go to? I'm not so sure. I went to Mike, right? I think I'm looking at other possibilities for secretary of
Hey, Lee has sent you super chats before too. I'm pretty sure. So
I'm pretty sure I know.
I think so.
Yeah. She's paid her way in bribes.
Better than my alternative pick, which would obviously be bring back Ben Carson to. Whatever happened to him? Talk about someone who disappeared off the face of the planet. Where's Ben Carson up to?
Look, he did what rich people should do.
Yeah,
take your money and fuck off. Enjoy your life. Retire.
I mean, that's
the
good
dream.
for him for disappearing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dynamic editor, thank you for your super chat. Says tell Lance to read my donation. Lance not here anymore.
Who's Mike Binder?
For president.
That's a purposeful conflation there. Thank you, dynamic editor. Trent, $10 super chat. Thank you. Says David, what's your build in Cyberpunk? Have you finished the DLC? I'm on the fence about buying if David is asleep. Matt, do you best impression? Okay, well, let me ask the question for what's your best build, or what's your build in Cyberpunk? To be honest, I kind of just like upgrade whatever section looks good to me. So I didn't like specifically choose a certain lane. I do mostly shoot my way through situations, though I do control the cameras when I can. I do hack things. I enjoy the hacking aspect of it. But I ultimately end up getting caught and shoot everybody. So that's what I end up doing. But yes, I finished the DLC. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The storytelling, the twists. Idris Elba is fantastic in that DLC. Like it's really well done. So definitely grab it. And Matt, do your best impression of Jank doing an impression of Lance.
Well, first of all, I don't even have a Jank impression. What was he calling Lance again? What did he say about Lance? He was what was it?
He just name dropped him, and he was like, "And Lance."
No, but he said he called him something.
Yeah,
DYT.
He called him something
or something.
He called him something. Yeah, I don't remember
it was like
what.
something
Someone's
like
gonna tell
it was
us.
something like that.
Something weird.
I don't remember.
It was whatever it was. It was hilarious. Jenk nailed the Lance impression.
Jay Cass with a super chat. Give this beard money to Lance, please. What beard money for Lance?
Beard money. Beard money. As opposed to beer money.
What does that even mean?
Oh yeah, Jenk called Lance a scorpion. I don't even know, but he called him a scorpion. He called him a scorpion.
That.
He called him a scorpion, but then also went into this whole like I am better than you, huh?
Yeah, it was something like that.
I am holier than you, ha ha ha. I am perfect leftist, ha ha. I am progressiver than thou, ha ha ha.
I think it was less French, but it was definitely something like that.
I remember it being very French for some reason, like TYT, oh, and like the shoulders.
Pepe Le Pew. Okay.
This is for me. Yep. D. Hegerts with a super chat. Have you discussed the marginalization of MSNBC hosts like Hassan and Moholdian? It was scandalous. Yes, we did. Also, we noticed that there's been reports that they're rolling back on that. I guess that report came out and the blowback was big. And Mehdi Hassan announced just today that his show was coming back on. His online show that MSNBC produces and distributes is coming back on.
And one of his first segments, I think, was on Israel as well. So yeah,
right.
Onikazi, $5. I think that's how you say it. $5. Thank you. Says yes. Don't immediately roll over. Make them sweat. Make them work for your vote, even if you will eventually fold. Make them think you won't. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that though. So that super chat should be going to me. What's going on?
Thank you, Onikazi, for supporting my fantastic point that I definitely made myself.
Although caveat, they probably don't care, but you should still make them sweat.
That's the thing. I also think they're not fucking. They don't care. At the same
They're not
time.
like.
But if all the voices are together,
I think if it got
it's the masses. It's
if
who's
it got
doing
big,
how many are doing it.
If it got big enough, like, listen, it wouldn't surprise me if some of this hedging from Biden on suddenly humanitarian aid for the Palestinians. I mean, it's not much, 100 million comparatively to what we're going to give to Israel. But I don't think there was anything planned. Wouldn't surprise me if someone came up to Biden and said, listen, buddy, we need to win Michigan. You can't. What are you doing?
There's a report. I don't know who put it out. It might have been The Nation, though I'm not sure, that Arab leaders are quietly trying to nudge Biden in the right direction. Because I think that it's like he's pissing off a lot of people with his just callousness. So I think, there are people in his ear trying to do the best that they can.
Oh, sorry. We didn't
Whoa.
We missed this one.
I see. David just doesn't want me to say these words. Trent with a super chat. Free Palestine.
Ezekiel Osiris, $2 super chat. Thank you. Says Tim Hortons really put nicotine in their poutine. I don't. Do they even have a poutine? I don't think Tim Hortons has a poutine.
I put poutine in my nicotine.
So I would say no. That's how to do it. But I don't believe that is true.
Mark O'Brien, $9.99. Thank you, Mark. Mike, I appreciate how you and David criticized TYT where needed, but also give them credit for their positive impact within the progressive movement and their good coverage on the Israel-Hamas catastrophe. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to be fair and objective. I'll criticize them when I think that they say something I disagree with, but if they do something good, then I think they get credit.
Yeah, I also don't think lying helps our arguments. You know what I mean?
Right.
It does. It just would make us seem like we're just haters and we're just gonna blindly hate no. That's hopefully why people trust our opinions when we have them, because we will be fair.
I mean, the reason we were so hard on TYT for their recent coverage, comments, opinions on trans people and trans inclusive language is because we understand how big they are in the leftist media space and how influential they are to people, and we want them to do good because we want the people who consume their content to walk away as better progressives. And if they're bad on an issue, we're going to call them out for it in hopes that they do better, or if they don't want to do better, in hopes to warn people not to watch them, at least specifically on this issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For Resto of the super chat, Uyghur 2024 makes citizenship great again. I mean, I think that people should be able to run for president.
I agree with that.
It is a stupid. Yeah. It is a stupid.
I think he's going about it really badly. I think the way to do it would just be to run as if you were anybody else. I wouldn't make such a show of it. I mean, when you get let them deny you, so you can then put use that to put a spotlight on the issue to like get disqualified for altering a form. Doesn't do that. That's just ridiculous.
Right.
Eric, is this for me or?
This one's from me.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Wait.
won't be answering it then. It is for you.
Yeah. Eric Miller, $5. Thank you, Eric. Binder, is Punk going to WWE?
I don't know. Insert another $5 and I'll tell you your fortune. I mean, I don't know.
Well, listen, Eric, I will answer that. Yes, I do believe he will be going to
No, honestly, I don't know. Survivor Series is in Chicago. That's his hometown. Everything would seem to be pointing in that direction if it was anybody but CM Punk. But I could also see the WWE just not want to work with him. But who knows? We'll see.
He'll be there.
Strontium special. Thank you for the super chat. Says I can see Hamas from my house. Sarah Palin. Yeah, I wonder what Sarah Palin thinks about this conflict.
I don't think she does.
I probably don't want to look. Leandra Lovejoy, thank you for the super chat. Says the Greek Orthodox Saint Porphyrius Church, apologies for pronunciation, compound was hit in an Israeli air attack in central Gaza City, one of the oldest churches in the world. Yeah, I did hear about this today.
Yeah.
To me, it's just again, not surprising. I think they've hit other holy sites as well, so it's not. Yeah.
So much history just going.
It's a normal day.
It's sad.
Yep. Jerry Martinez, thank you for your super chat. Says to be fair to Bernie, he blocked a ban on U.S. humanitarian aid to Gaza that was proposed by Rick Scott, according to Democracy Now.
Yeah, I mean, Bernie on this issue is a mixed bag. He's made progress. He's not the worst for sure, but there's still. He's at least one of the few lawmakers that does listen. And that's kind of been demonstrated over the years with his improvement on this issue. So yeah, for sure. I think it's important to point that out, Jerry.
Oh, Andrew, thank you. I didn't mean to click that because I don't usually click those, but you have a chat. Andrew says, here's my donation for the tattoo stream. Sweet. That's not going to happen, but thank you.
I would do a tattoo stream. I would do it. So if we really want to make that happen, I would do it. I would need to find someone who'd be willing to, because probably, the
come to your house, or you go to them.
The tattoo artists would need to be in on it, right? Yeah, we can't surprise them. Surprise! People are watching you.
I'm pretty sure my tattoo artist watches. I don't know if he has seen anything recently. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so I mean, I would imagine he'd be down, but I don't have anything that I want tattooed. I'm pretty much covered up, so I'll have to wait a little bit. So
are you, Mike? I see plenty of room right there on your face.
We'll see. I've got another arm mostly, if I
hold your arm up. You got plenty of room. What are you talking about? There's nothing. Yeah. Do you have anything on those fingers? No, I don't see nothing. You got room.
That's true.
Your hands even. What are you talking about? You're covered up.
No, that's true.
Well, for the average person.
Yeah.
Pretty covered up.
Yeah. Comparatively speaking, I am a freak.
Oh, someone said I should have my kids do magic marker on me. I actually was thinking of getting a tattoo that they drew, like on me, and just getting a tattoo.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
For you.
I got my son tattooed on me. I got a tattoo of my son. That's just what parents do. See, look.
Oh, but yeah, your pet. Okay, your pet's your son. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Archangel, $2. You can split my $2. Be more progressive. Well, thank you.
How do we split your $2 3 ways, buddy?
I don't think our platform can get any much more progressive. It's very progressive. Many people are saying it's the most progressive platform ever.
Virginia Morels, thank you for your chat. Says Jordan is trying again. It's been reported on mainstream media. What is that? Trying what?
Jim Jordan.
Oh, Jim Jordan.
I was thinking of the country Jordan.
Yeah, I was thinking of the country. I was like, oh, the country
canceled
Jordan.
Talks with Biden, so is the
Michael Jordan's coming back to the NBA. He's trying again. Mainstream media is reporting it right now. Big news.
I'm in a different headspace, but okay, yeah, I'm glad he's trying.
Michael
again.
Jordan running for speaker. Oh my God. Well, they'll all vote for him.
Archangel, $5. Thank you, Archangel.
Damn, Archangel really giving to everybody.
Yeah,
No, I'm joking,
making it
Archangel.
Has Archangel
I'm
given to
joking.
me? Probably. I just forgot.
think he did.
Archangel has sent a lot to me. I
There's a lot
appreciate
of
you,
chats.
Archangel.
I think
very
you're getting them all,
generous.
actually.
I might. I've got like 3. I think this is the 3rd one, Archangel. My goodness. Dave and Mike, if you play Baldur's Gate 3, have you loved the game? Did you get used to the D&D format? I love it myself and love the initial games. I did play a little bit of it. I got into the I made it past Act 1. Haven't started Act 2. I like it. And I was starting to kind of learn the D&D formula. Having said that, though, it kind of I was in the mood to play something more actiony. There's a lot of talking and dialogue. And so when Lies of P came out, I abandoned BG3 immediately because I needed action. But it's not bad. I'll have to play it when I'm in the mood for more storytelling. The combat was interesting. I liked it. I was learning, but it's not bad. I don't know. Did you play that, David? I feel like we talked about this, but I don't remember.
I haven't played it yet. I do want to. The issue for me is it seems like a really and I like to, when I can, listen to podcasts when I'm playing games, and it's a hard thing to do in a game like Baldur's Gate, where it's a lot of story. Yeah, it's not. So yeah. I need a week off or something if I'm gonna, get actually deep into a game like that. But we'll see down the line. Maybe if it's added to PlayStation Plus or Game Pass or something, I'm more likely to check it out. The thing for me is, yeah, I'm sure I'd like it if I had the time to put into it, but I don't feel like I would have that much time, really.
It's certainly interesting. I get why people like it.
Who's this for? Is this for me? This is for me. Oh, sorry. Shami Sengupta, apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Thank you for your super chat. Says, David, did you see Barnaby Rain's great Gaza commentary on Novara yesterday? I did not. Though Novara does do. They're the British YouTube, right? They do great work. So I assume it was fantastic. But thank you for that.
Zeitwise with $5.99. Thank you so much. Does anyone know why Israel is able to dictate if aid is going over Gaza-Egypt border or not? And not so serious question. What if Jesus came back now? Well, if Jesus came back now, he'd be very disappointed in all of his followers for sure. And when it comes to, does anyone know why Israel is able to dictate aid? Because they're in complete control. So they control the borders, the sea space. Like if you're Palestinian, you can't go too far out on your boat. They control everything. It's a full occupation.
That's it. I mean, there is a border with Egypt, but there's politics there at play as well, right? That border is often closed between Egypt and Gaza. Last I heard, Israel was bombing that border anyways. So it's, yeah. The honest answer is I don't know how much power Israel has over aid going through the Egypt Gaza border. I don't know. That's a good question though.
The Prof, which series is more absurd, Saw or Fast and Furious? Oh, definitely Fast and Furious.
I started watching Fast and Furious 10 last night.
Did you really?
They have cars in space and shit, right?
I love those movies. They're fucking ridiculous. It's the only action movie that I'm really series that I'm super into. I wouldn't say super into, but I watch them all. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen Saw, but I assume Saw is still grounded in somewhat reality. Whereas Fast and Furious is just completely ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. They're so ridiculous. If you go back and watch the very first one, it's a very tame, normal movie. And then I think it's number 4, I think, is when they jump the shark, and it really gets it becomes this heist series. and it gets super crazy. And they've killed characters off, and those characters have come back because the timeline was actually different in a way you didn't expect it to be. Like or this person you thought was died because I don't know. There's too much. There's this one guy, Han, he's a character, and he died in. This isn't really a spoiler, but whatever. He died in the third movie, which actually takes place like 3 movies later. But then when that movie happens, he dies in like that movie 3, even though he died in 3. But then he comes back because no, actually he didn't really die in in the 6th movie. It's just so and that's just like one person like one death. Forget all the action scenes and the insanity and the space, and yeah, no, it's Fast and Furious. That's the answer.
Jesus.
For me, Pluvius, thank you for your super chat. Gaza exists. Bibi Netanyahu. It's free real estate. I mean,
the meme.
Basically, yes.
Man.
Can I just finish mine off? I only got a few left. So,
yeah.
Mark says, "Hi, this is perfect timing. Hi, I'm David. I have a child. Good night, y'all." Yes, that'll be happy. That'll be happy.
Oh, you should have saved that one for last.
Well, the fact that was the first one I read while I'm saying I'm leaving was the perfect timing on that. Was this Lawrence? I always forget. This person told us how to say this. I think it's Lawrence. Says, "Thank you for doing all that you do. Have you heard of the band King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard?" I have not. It's a fantastic name, but I have not heard of them. No. Bender, have you? You know music?
No, I've not.
Okay. Banquet says, "Happy Halloween, Gaslight Gravekeep Ghoul Boss." Yes. Thank you, Banquet, for your very generous super chat. Last one. Arlie, do you play Diablo? Thoughts? I played I think I played 12 hours of it. Yes, like 12 hours because I saw the time on it. And it's so Diablo 3 I beat. Love Diablo 3. Diablo 4 I just got tired of it. Like it's just like kill, respec, kill, respec. Like it's actually a great podcast game, but it was even too boring for that. Like I had to move on. So I'm kind of over Diablo. But I totally get people that
the third one was great. I think I was like a Paragon level 2. I want to say I played the fuck out of that game.
I played right through that. And I mean 4 is great too. It's just more the same to me. But there we go. That's it. Y'all almost done anyways, but I think
yeah, we're super close.
Trying to find where I was here.
Oh, I got it. It's right here.
Is that where it is?
Oh, we both clicked it at the same time.
Yes, you click it now. All right. Good night, people.
All right, take care, David.
Week.
Peace.
This one is for you, Matt.
All right. Foresto with a super chat predicting Binder's Fortnite corruption scandal. I don't play competitively. I just play for fun. So there's not going to be any corruption scandal with Fortnite. Maybe there'll be a corruption scandal with me, trying to get the refs for my kids' soccer team to to call some that are much more competitive. Actually, you should see me on the sidelines. I'm assistant coach of the team, so I'm on the sidelines, friggin' yelling at them and screaming my head off, calling plays from the sidelines.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't know I was gonna be like that, but the second I got on that field, I became that.
All right, Lizzie Bennett. Thank you for the $5. Now, why would Mike kiss a plush doll of his evil twin? How dare you, Lizzie? By the way, Dusty Smith is a guest on Leftist Mafia. Yeah, I think we've answered this before too. I would love to have him on.
Yes, we already said, yeah.
There's a lot of people we want to bring on. The problem is that we just forget to invite them. And that is the truth. I was going to invite someone on this week, but I forgot. I think this is you.
Pluvia is the super chat. trailer. Holy shit, that pitch correction. They're not auto-tuning for effect. They just don't know what they're doing. Are you talking about the Snow White trailer?
Snow White.
It looks really bad. It looks really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad.
Look, this is what happens when failed Hollywood writers and failed actors have a lot of money to do what they want. This is the kind of
I am interested in seeing the most interesting thing to me is I want to see what Brett Cooper could do. She actually was an actress. That's where she came from. She was in that short-lived Heathers TV series.
I don't even know what that is.
Heathers is a movie. It was like a horror movie, like a weird, like sort of movie about all these girls at this one school whose name were Heather.
Wait, that's so weird, huh?
Yeah, and they all kept dying or something like that. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Oh.
But they did a TV series adaptation of it, and she was in it.
Interesting. I did not know about this. I'm curious though. Another one for you.
Kuya Damon. Hey Matt, just catching you guys after my spin class. Have you ever considered drinking prebiotic soda like Olipop or Poppy? As a future leftist dentist, I want to make sure you keep your smile. I've already fucked up my teeth with all the soda I drink. I need to. Luckily, there's nothing really that. I mean, I probably have to. I got some stains I need to probably get taken care of. You're a future leftist dentist. What could I do about some stains on my teeth from soda? Help me out there.
Well, listen, I'm not a dentist, but as a coffee drinker, if you get the Crest 3D white strips, they last for about 6 months. It works very well. Yeah, I bleach my teeth about once a year.
I should probably look into that.
It's great. Highly, highly recommend.
But I will try out Olipop. They look good. I love all sodas. I'm not anti. Well, I am anti one specific soda. I've never tasted a soda worse than Tab. Oh my god, it's so bad.
I don't think I've tried Tab.
It's got the pink can, and it looks delicious because the can is pink. And you're like, ooh, this must have some like sweet flavoring or something. And it just tastes like garbage. It's the worst soda flavor I've ever had in my life. And I'm someone who loves every soda that isn't diet.
See, I only drink diet. Ford 8484 with $5. Thank you. David, missed this one, but you and David getting Alan Wake 2 next week. Too many bloody games this year, as the millennials say. First world problems. Yeah, that's a good point. Definitely first world problems. I'm really interested in Alan Wake 2. I love the first game, but I just don't think I'm going to have time to play it because there's Spider-Man, there's Mario, and after that, there's Mario RPG. There's so much stuff, so I'm going to have to put that on the back burner, but maybe I'll make time because I wasn't making time for Lies of P, but I put over 100 hours into that game. Didn't expect to play that one at all, but loved it. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so Archangel follow-up, $10. Thank you again, Archangel. You've been very, very generous. Don't think of our military formations when I say hurting our readiness. I mean our military munitions stockpile. We have given so much to Ukraine, it is threatening our own go-to-war stockpiles. Again, I don't feel concerned about that at all. I don't think that, like, if the United States genuinely faced a threat, I think we'd be more than capable. We're the largest military in the world. So, I mean, maybe since, with your expertise, this is something that you think about more. But for me, as an average just citizen, I'm not concerned at all about the U.S. military or military readiness. I think that will be perfectly fine. I don't think that there's any threats to us. So, yeah, but thank you for the clarification.
Kowalski with a super chat. I turned 30 on Saturday. Am I old now? No, I can't believe you're only turning 30. My God.
Yes,
so
that's
old.
very old. No, of course, you're very young still.
Andrew says, okay, Matt, here's the money for the tattoo. Am I really going to do one? I'll really do it. I don't know what I would get, but I'll do it.
Get the Leftist Mafia logo. And then we'll cancel the podcast. And you'll
yeah, but like I said, I'm very specific about getting something I'm going to regret, and that's going to be something I regret for sure.
You don't expect to do the Leftist Mafia in perpetuity till the end of time?
I mean, it might be something that lasts for a long time, but knowing how we go through hosts, I don't want to just be crossing out faces on my body every time we drop someone. If I got Leftist Mafia tattoo on day one of the show, there ought to be 2 hosts who are no longer on the show on my body.
This is brilliant.
Not for me.
Oh, is this me or is this David?
This I don't know.
I think this is David, so we'll read it. A Banquet of the Leviathan with $13. Happy Halloween, Gaslight, Gravekeep, Ghoul Boss. I like that a lot. That's pretty clever.
Jason Baskerville with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Jason. A video I made on TikTok about how Israel funded Hamas got shadow banned in a few minutes of being up. Yeah, TikTok is weird because, I feel like they do some things better than other platforms. Then they're really hard on like news content, like that. I don't know. I keep posting stuff as long as it's not going to get your account banned. Then just keep posting it, and eventually, I'm sure it'll break through whatever shadow ban.
Corey Springer with $5. You'd get an eagle and an American flag tatted on your face if you ever want to be my president. Well, I don't want to be your president that bad, Corey. So I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to go with somebody else. I wouldn't get an eagle and American flag tatted anywhere on my body.
Stoic Jeff, Yemen shot missiles and U.S. shot them down 3 hours ago. I didn't see this.
Yeah, this is breaking news to me.
U.S. Navy warship near Yemen intercepts multiple missiles. So it doesn't say who shot them. It just says Navy warship near Yemen. One of the officials said the missiles were fired by Iranian-backed Houthi militants. I'm not sure. I don't know. Seems unrelated to what's going on in Gaza.
Yeah.
At least directly.
I think this is you.
No, it is. Renee with a super chat. No words on Mark Lamont Hill on Al Jazeera. I did see that clip of him grilling the one of the Israeli officials, I believe. That was good.
Yeah. It was in one of my videos. I don't know which one. Maybe it was this week. Very, very good clip. He is excellent at his job. Pluvius with $5. Baldur's Gate 3 is 40 hours plus of Astarion being a catty bitch and Karlach being a cinnamon roll. Sounds like a podcast to me. Yeah, I will say that the story and the characters of Baldur's Gate 3 was very interesting. Unlike a lot of video game stories, it just depends on my attention span. And I'm just kind of like, I don't really want to do a big story game right now. Although I'm making, an exception for Spider-Man 3. But it just depends on my mood, I think. But yeah, there's an appeal to the story for sure. Seth Wade with $6. Thank you so much. To each of you, what band and musician has the most songs that you like? If you could go to an intimate concert, who would be playing? This is really hard for me, honestly. All of my favorite musicians are canceled, so I wouldn't want to go to any of their concerts.
I mean, it actually is true.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but a good portion of them, yeah. I'll go with
I genuinely don't know.
Problem is, yeah, the band who has the most songs I like is Leftover Crack / Choking Victim, which we previously mentioned before, having issues because of their singer. Against Me.
I'm gonna say I'll say Snoop Dogg. I've already been to his concert, but he probably has the most songs that I like of people who are still around and not canceled. So I'll go with Snoop Dogg, even though I did already see him. Is this you or me? Let me see. I think this is you.
Jeez, I'm off. I'm sorry, I didn't see. Victor
Oh,
Hart
no,
with a
you're good.
$10 super chat. Thank you, Victor. So I am just now getting home. Haven't seen the show yet. I'm not sure if you guys saw this. Maybe interesting. Hassan Abi was on Piers Morgan tonight. Just some food for the soul for the Leftist Mafia late shift. We should have watched some clips of it. We didn't. We did discuss it though. We mentioned it early, I think.
I watched the whole thing. It was great.
Yeah, I saw. I've seen clips. Yeah, Hassan's good. He's great. You know, and the fact that he is as big as he is and he uses his platform is. Do I am I lock in step with every opinion he has? No, but probably most of them. Even though maybe sometimes I would probably maybe be more careful with wording on certain things. Not talking about this particular topic. But Hassan is I'm a fan.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's as big as he is. He's very talented, very insightful. I loved the interview. I love that Pierce was posting his L, showing the clip of Hassan calling him a baboon in a suit. That shit was great. So yeah, I was all over that. Mark O'Brien with $1.99. Would y'all please have Marianne on for an interview? Yeah, I mean, I would be open to it if everyone else was as well, for sure.
I would be. Yeah, I mean, listen. I think she's. She seems like a nice person. I mean,
yeah, I certainly have some concerns for sure.
I mean, there's issues with her campaign, obviously, and I don't think, again, someone who's running against the sitting president in the primary for the party that the president belongs to really needs to be a movement candidate, because that's really what's going to provide pressure on, the president to move on certain issues. And there's nobody running against Biden that is a movement candidate. They just don't have that backing behind them. This is what it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I think we'd be down to it. We'd have to put on our journalistic hats.
Yeah.
When we're usually unserious a lot of the time, or we're just ranting. But yeah, it's certainly something that I would be. I think everyone would be open to. This one I believe is for you.
Is it? Let me see. Where are these calls coming from? No, it's not from me. I had run out of. Oh, I just got two more, but these aren't one of them.
Oh, okay. So this is David Dolden. We'll read it. Randall Smith with $10. Stop the proposed Israeli genocide in Gaza. Keep up the great work, guys. Randall from Oklahoma. Thank you, Randall. I really appreciate that. We'll make sure David knows. Okay, this one has got to be you, right?
This is Pluvius with a super chat. A peck tat saying "smug life" would be perfect, Matt. I am not getting a tattoo that says "smug life." Yeah, it's not happening. No,
that'd be so cool. Kowalski with $1.99. We need Skype calls on Leftist Mafia. You need more tractor content. I would love to do that.
We do need to figure out how to do calls. We need to figure it out.
We need to.
I think
the problem is that if we do Skype calls, we'd have to do that in lieu of super chats. Like, we'd have to turn off super chats because that would be so much. Like, we'd miss all the. It'd be like an 18-hour episode with how we're going. So we'd have to do like either or do like a section of the main show with,
Yeah, maybe we could do every now and then do a main show with the with super chats.
That would be really fun, I think.
Yeah, like we could do an hour of news and then an hour of calls and then do the super chats.
Honestly, like I floated this before. It's a lazy option, but just dropping the invite in the comment section and let anyone join.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Because you don't have, they don't just jump on. You have to admit them one by one. So we'd have like a little waiting room there. I think that would be the easiest way to go about it, personally. But we'd have to check in and make sure everyone else is okay with that. It'd be a little bit intimidating because people would have to, jump on camera. But I think there'd be enough people that would want to do it. I would love to interact with people face to face.
Right. I mean, I guess the one issue would be if StreamYard could handle that. Like, I don't know if it would allow that. Like, yes, we could.
Well,
have
there
12...
would be a limit for sure. There's 10, and that's it. So if it would be basically if there's all 6 of us on, only 4 people would be allowed in the waiting room, and people would have to like retry each time somebody leaves. So it would be a little bit of a clusterfuck from the viewer perspective because of the limitations of StreamYard. But it would be probably the easiest way for us to like take calls, so to speak, and bring someone in.
Right.
Oregonian Bum with $10. Thank you. I am the weird creep that started emotes for you. Those were, by the way, those were so amazing. I love them. Plan on doing Matt and potentially David if he wants any. I'm sitting here wondering, should I make them all of the pop? All of Matt's will be turds, JK. I think, listen, I don't think you should restrain artists. I think you should do what you want. What you came up with already was really cool. So yeah, do what you want if you think that. Yeah, really great work. You're very talented.
Archangel with a super chat. Thank you, Archangel. Matt, what do you think of Sidney Powell flipping? I love it. It is so funny. Release the Kraken has a whole new meaning now.
Yes.
And also there's a report where let me pull this up. I even tweeted it out, and I want to read the exact headline of the tweet because it's so funny.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick.
This is exclusive from Rolling Stone. Team Trump was totally caught off guard by Sidney Powell's plea deal. They never dreamed the MAGA zealot would flip on them. That is so fucking funny. That's so funny that this blindsided them. I think it's hilarious. I really do. Very funny. But Mike has disappeared. Let's see what else is here. I'm really behind on that. Hold on, let's see. This one's for Mike. This one's for me, so I'll read this one. Cold Dog with a super chat. Matt, get a tattoo of Sam Cedar. Absolutely not. I cannot think of a tattoo that you will never see on me. No, I mean, I'm obviously not going to get a Sam Cedar tattoo, but I also have no problem with Sam Cedar, obviously. That's it for me. I don't have any more super chats. These last super chats are for... Oh, wait, here we go. Someone else just dropped one for me. Matt, Mark O'Brien with a $10 super chat. Matt, I appreciate you being on point on this issue and for staying later than everyone always. Much appreciated. I watch MR every day, so I see you twice a week on 2 channels. Your humor is perfecto. Mark, thank you so much. Too kind on, what was that, 1 point in that first sentence. Then you said you watch MR, so that's a second point there. And then my humor, three separate kind statements. Actually, that first one has... You talk about me being on point on the issue and for staying later. So that's 4 separate kind points about me. I really appreciate that, Mark. Everyone should send me such nice comments all the time. And I've read all my super chats, unless any more come in. All yours, Mike.
All right. Well, let's see.
Unlike these bozos over here, I'm going to stick around for these super chats, even though they're not mine.
Victor Hart with $10. Okay, so you mentioned Baldur's Gate and last week mentioned Dark Souls. Have you heard of / tried Lies of P? I'm glad you asked. Souls-like game set in a dark, crazed puppet world of Pinocchio. It's free on the Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, so earlier in the stream, I talked a little bit about this. I absolutely love Lies of P. It's one of my favorite games of the year. I beat it 4 times, literally on New Game Plus. I love it. Highly, highly recommend it. It really scratched that like Dark Souls itch that I was looking for. Okay, let me make sure I know where I am. Okay. So we're at Ford. Is this me? Yeah, this is
it's all you, unless there's a new one at the bottom there.
Okay, here we go. So Ford8484 with $10. Thank you, Ford. Calls would be great. MJ and Pacman are the only ones left that do it anymore. It's amazing. Kyle used to take phone calls. I'd love to see Kyle do that again. I did not know that he used to take phone calls.
I do phone calls on my stream too.
That's true. That's true. Oh, and also it follows up MR correction. So yeah, that's all for me. I think that's all, folks. Yeah.
No, wait. 2 more just came in for me. Sorry, they're quick, short ones. We got
okay.
Bay Photo with a super chat. Eminem 24 tattoo. It's a good idea, but it's way too specific and insidery. And after 2024, I'm gonna regret it. So let's move on to this last one.
That every time.
Gamma Ray Gun just sending me $1. No comment. I appreciate it. You could always send me $1 if you want. No comment necessary. I appreciate it. And that's it. That's the show. Oh wait, I got a Venus Bloodflow over on Twitch gifted a 1-month tier 1 sub to Dr. JW. Thank you so much, Venus Bloodflow. And by the way, of course, I should mention. Oh wait, Nug Wrangler also resubscriber Prime subscriber for 18 months over on Twitch. Thank you, Nug Wrangler. Twitch.tv/MattBinder. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, drop your Twitch Prime subscription if you haven't used it yet.
Yes.
And let's YouTube.com/MattBinder. Subscribe there too if you're watching on another channel. If you want to subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/MattBinder. Mike, while you and me are just here, you might as well plug your own specific shit too, you know?
Yeah, youtube.com/rationalnational. I'm at TRN Show on Twitter or at David Dole. That's my personal account. Yeah.
Oh, wait. While I say this, we just got 3 more super chats, 4 more super chats. So let's go through them. While we're doing this, who should Mike and I raid on Twitch? Drop who we should raid, and we'll do a double raid on them.
Yeah.
Mark O'Brien with a $20 super chat for the children. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate that. That's very generous of you.
The Prof with $9.99. Thank you. If Alicia Keys is supporting Hamas because of her jacket, then Mike has an Israeli flag on the TV in the back. LOL. Leftist best. Yeah, right. Tenley Atwood with $3. Thank you, Tenley. Ugandan refugees ambushed by rebel groups in Sudan. I have not seen this. I'll have to look into this. God, there's so much going on. This one is for you. Last one here.
Gamma Ray Gun with a $2 super chat. I forgot to write in the message. Well, there you go. $3 altogether to say you forgot to write in the message. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I think that the first one I saw is Time for Tinfoil.
Oh wow, you can pull up the Twitch ones. Very, very good. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Who's Time for Tinfoil? Why do they sound familiar?
I don't know.
Where have I rated them before? They do sound familiar. Let me
We'll find out. We'll make a new friend. We've got
rate
quite
them?
a bit today. I have 50, or at 44, you have 138. Doing pretty
Time
good.
for Tinfoil. Looking them up now. What are they streaming about? Let's see if they're a good Well, the name of the stream is My Wife is Divorcing Me Because I Called Her a Hologram. My adult sons will not speak to me.
Oh my god.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
But what is Time for Tinfoil streaming about? Let's see.
They go over schizo right-wing people, content like crystal mummies.
All right, let's do Time for Tinfoil.
Okay.
Here
you
we
ready?
go. Yep, I'm typing it in. Wait, whoa.
Typing it in. Okay, I'm ready to hit raid.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm hitting start raid now, just so it all adds up, you know. And then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Ready to hit raid? 1.
Just hit it.
Oh, you just did it? All right.
I did it. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm hitting end. We'll see you all next week.
All right, peace, everyone.